All right. Well, we're live. We're here. We're off. We are going to be
What's
doing
up?
some. Oh shit! You're not in. 1 minute. There we go. Danny's there. There we
What's
go.
up?
What's up, everybody? Welcome, Danny, to the channel as well, to the stream, back to the channel. You've been on once before, right?
Yeah, I believe it was once.
Just
Yeah,
once before.
we were talking about, I guess, my sarcasm and all
Exactly.
that.
The
Right?
sarcastic vegans. Exactly. That's what we were getting into. And today, well, I guess we're going to see some more of that because we're going to be debating with the public. So that's going to be interesting. We've never done this before together, ganging up on people. So, yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing it on Discord. We're going to be doing it with the Animal Rights Advocates Discord server. So if you don't know what I'm talking about and you want to check that out, then I'm just going to post that. It's in the description already, by the way, so you can check it out there. But I'll post it in the chat right now as well. There we go. So everyone go and check that out. And today, guys, how we're going to do it with the donations, the super chats, the Streamlabs donations. I do please would ask you to use the Streamlabs if you're going to make donations. But I don't know if Danny wants to agree with me on this, but I am willing to say, or a point that you want me to say, or say what you want me to say, as long as it's productive and clean. I will say it, right? If it's not productive or it's not clean, I won't say it. But I'm willing to try this out just for today. So if there's a point you really, really, really want me to make that I'm not making, or you want me to say something that I'm not saying, use the Streamlabs donation to bring it to my attention, and I will do it if it's clean and if it's fair and if it's productive. I'll do it. If not, then you'll just be wasting your money. So don't put anything dirty or nasty or abusive because it's not going to happen. Not that you would, because you're all amazing people, but yeah, just have to disclaimer that. What do you think, Daddy? Would you do that?
Yeah, as long as it's clean. I mean, I don't know how many people here are familiar with the Discord, but it's a lot of like new people to veganism, and like also just want to be nice to them overall because
Yeah.
it's like some people's first time even thinking about this stuff, and we have to remember that we've been thinking about it for 5+ years, whatever, and just gotta be patient, be nice.
Yeah, exactly. And Danny, by the way, I don't know if you already have it open, but you could keep the stream open and mute it to get the chat, or you could just get the chat on the pop out so you can follow just
Yeah,
in
no,
case, right?
I got it
All right,
open.
nice,
Muted, yeah.
sweet. All right, then let's dive in then. Let's. Oh wait, I got a burp. Oh my lord, that was huge. If I did that down the mic, that would have blown some people's ears out. All right, let's jump into the Discord then, and let's bring this conversation to the people. Where are we? Stage 1, I think we've got to go to, right? All right.
Consider
Stage 1?
Yeah, I think so.
Be adequate for indicating a sense of self. I think.
Well,
the mirror
I'd personally be satisfied. I'd personally be satisfied with presenting various animals options to go through, and then observing if there's differentiation and variation between the exercising of those options. However, if we could expand our work on the mirror test with animals, I think that'd be a great place to start. However, it does require a lot of work.
Jesus.
But Dantas is up here now. He is our fearless leader. So I believe I might have to give you the boot, MNE, my friend. But I look forward to speaking to you at a later point, okay?
There we go.
Thanks.
Sorry about that, bud, but thanks for your time. You've been wonderful to have on. Rex, you've been a lovely co-host. Dantas, welcome to the stage, my friend.
Yeah, thank you, and thank you all for y'all have been doing this for a couple hours now. It's great. Thank you.
Oh, absolute pleasure, mate.
All right, I think we're getting ready to go up.
Yeah, lovely.
Right. So
yeah,
everyone, we're gonna have David Rams and Lifting Vegan Logic on. So both of you should be able to join the podium. So
we also join. Yeah, I think we could. Wait, well, how do I click myself?
Awesome, guy. Listen, I guess that's mine and Rex's cue to leave. Thanks a lot for your time, guys. Thanks for listening. And we look forward to listening to the stage, I reckon.
That's funny.
Yeah, thanks very much for having us. See you around.
Bye, guys.
See you later, mate. Cool. We're in. We're on the stage now.
All right.
Thanks, mate.
Awesome. Awesome to have you on.
Yeah, good to be here, man. Thanks for setting this up and giving us the chance to come on here and and do this. It's gonna be cool. I hope.
Yeah, no, of course. Just give me 1 minute so I can get the announcement in, and yeah, this is great, and welcome as well, Lifting Vegan Logic. Great to see you here again.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Sweet. So I've got 1 minute. I'm gonna just sort something out. Oh wait, how do I do this? I've got like an echo, but I think it's just me.
Yeah, I got the same thing. It's because of our call.
Oh right, okay. Well, it's
Yeah.
fine as long as it doesn't come through on the stream, then it's fine. I think it's. I
You know
don't
if there's a
think.
way to mute us to each
How
other?
long will the stream be for? Just curious.
Maybe like a couple of hours, like 2 hours, maybe. I think so.
Awesome.
Yeah, something like that.
So it's gonna, yeah.
All right. So, how do I do that? I mean, I've not got any echo anymore. Have you still?
Yeah, what'd you do?
I don't know. I just nothing changed. Everything's just stayed fine.
Mhm.
Guys, in the chat, can you tell us, is there any echo on either myself or Danny right now? Can you let me know? Do we sound clear? Like this is me speaking, everybody? Is there an echo? Danny, you go.
I just have an echo for you, but not like I think no one else does. I think it's because of our call that we're both on.
Okay. Well, I mean, as long as
Yeah.
is it like really distracting or
It's close to unbearable, but I could just deal with it.
is it literally unbearable? Like for real? Okay. Well, no,
It's all
Danny.
good.
Oh, I've got it. I know. I will just mute
What?
myself here. 1 second. Right.
Uh-huh.
Hold up. Right. I'm muted now. You should only be able to hear me in the Discord. Is that right?
Yeah, that's good.
There we
Yeah,
go then. And then once we're out, if we
Sweet.
need to leave Discord, then we can. Yeah. Great. Perfect.
Cool. And you
Awesome.
don't have an echo for me?
I have no echo for you. I don't know what
No.
happened. It's totally fine.
All right, cool.
Yeah. Yeah. We're all good.
All right,
So
we solved the
David?
problem.
yes. Hello. Yes.
Yeah. Are you able to change the description, or do you want to keep the description of the current stage?
No, let's change it. Like I'll change it to. Oh, I don't know. How do I change it? I don't remember. Is it edit channel?
No. You go to the top right where there's stage settings.
Yeah, I got it. And then why aren't you V? All right, sweet.
Yeah, and just as well, just the last thing is just prioritizing people that have that are
Yes.
verified in the server that have gotten the non-vegan role. So yeah, if you haven't verified yourself yet, get yourself verified because we're prioritizing people that have the
All
the
right,
roles.
cool.
And
Got it,
yeah,
got
thank
it.
you, and I'll be leaving. Good luck.
Cool. Danny, what should I call it? Debate two vegan YouTuber bros.
Wrecking non-vegan. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, that sounds good.
Debate vegan YouTuber bros. No, I don't know. Debate. I don't know. Something that makes people want to.
Should have
Something.
thought about this before.
Yeah, something that makes people want to click. Okay.
I've seen the basic. Why aren't you vegan yet? We could.
You want to
that for now?
All right, fine. It was already that. All right, sweet.
Oh, true.
All right, I'll just put it. Why aren't you vegan yet? Then fuck it. All right, sweet. It is why aren't you vegan yet? And also, your echo came back. I don't know. Anyway, guys, let's talk. Why aren't you vegan yet? This is what we're gonna call it. Welcome to our. Oh, now the echo's back now. Shit, even the echo's coming through on the. Okay, Danny, speak. Just say hello.
You hear me?
Oh, it's gone again.
Yeah.
That's so weird. Okay, no echo now. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, okay, I've got it. You're muted. Okay,
So
okay,
weird.
I've got it. Everything's fine. Everything's totally fine. Great. We've got the audio. Everything's set up. Perfect. Great. Cool. So what are we doing today, Danny? Why are we here? What are we hoping to achieve?
I mean, I guess we're here to talk to some people who have an interest in veganism and people who aren't vegan yet. And I mean, I would just like to try to convince people to go vegan. I mean, it's a pretty positive thing to,
Yeah.
Not financially support some of the worst cruelty on the planet
Yeah.
for trivial reasons such as taste pleasure. So yeah, I mean, and also just to have some friendly conversation and show people that vegans can be chill, down to earth people that aren't insane, because that's we have a big stereotype for that, I think, in the online sphere for sure.
Yeah. I think you're asking a lot though, mate, to be honest. To expect that people won't abuse animals for trivial reasons. I mean, trivial reasons are pretty important, taste and convenience. Like, I think we're asking a bit too much of people.
Yeah, I guess it's too much to ask for people to not support animal abuse, but hopefully we can convince them, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, hope so, right? Even though we agree that it's, taste and pleasure and convenience are it's pretty up there, man. It's pretty up there.
Yeah, I mean, listen, my pleasure should outweigh another's suffering.
Of course.
It's pretty obvious, right?
Yeah, right, exactly. But we sacrifice ourselves for the animals, don't we? That's what we do. We put ourselves on the cross for those animals. give up all of our pleasure. We have no pleasure, actually. Like you give up all pleasure when you go vegan, and all convenience too. You give it all up. You hand it over.
Yeah, the vegan ice cream I had a couple days ago yielded me zero pleasure.
Exactly. It was just cold, tasteless drool, basically, right?
It was just ice, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yes, but ice would bring some pleasure on a hot day. This was actually, it didn't even give you that, did it? I bet it was just like, you know,
There's nothing.
there's nothing. Yeah, the worst. Okay, well, anyway, all of that out of the way. Let's bring in Popo, who is a member with roles. We have to prioritize members with roles. Let's kick off these discussions then. Popo, are you coming in? Popo's been invited. Popo is in.
Hello.
Hi. What's good?
I'm not gonna lie. I did not expect that. Sorry.
Not expect what? Sorry. So you're breaking up quite a bit. It's a bad connection, I think.
Yeah, he's roboting a little bit.
Yeah.
I did not expect to be brought up first.
Oh, you didn't expect to be right. Fair enough. Oh yeah, you've got a role, man. You're prioritized because of your role. So yeah, dude. What do you wanna discuss?
The title says why I'm not vegan.
Yeah,
I guess that.
it's a good place to start, right? So go ahead then, man. Why are you not vegan?
Mostly because I choose that it might get in the way that I've done some research. There is a lack of nutrients in some meat, in some vegetables that are only found in meat, and I feel like they might be valuable at some point. I'm still on like the edge. Which side, you know?
Yeah, Danny. Which nutrients are only found in meat?
I mean, there's dietary cholesterol, but your body creates that, so there's not really a reason to get it from animal products. I mean, I guess I would just ask you, like, what nutrients are there that you think you need to have that are only found in meat?
Well, I was taught that like vitamin B and D are important for you, and when looking it up, it said vitamin B12 and D3. I get the number stuff, but I know that they include D and B.
Yeah,
I'm basing off of that.
Yeah, you can always just get a vitamin D3 supplement, and you can also get a B12 supplement. So and both of those are vegan sources. So if you're concerned with those two, you can get them from supplements.
But you got to remember, though, right?
I see.
Supplements are evil, though. Sarcasm, by the way. But a lot of people, for some reason, are really against supplements. But it doesn't really make sense if you can take a supplement for something, right? Which you can. Why would you not take the supplement and choose to kill animals instead, when you could just take a supplement that didn't kill animals? You're going to get the nutrient either way. Just do the one that isn't violent, right?
Yeah, I would kind of go on top of that and say, like, there's an intuition people have about supplementation for nutrients, and like where they feel that it's not really right, because you're not getting the nutrient from food, but you're getting it from a supplement. But I mean, as long as I were to show you that there's like health outcome data showing that supplementation results in good health outcomes, would that be enough for you to consider going vegan?
See.
It kind of broke up. Could you say that one more time?
I think he said I see, but the
I only said that,
connection's
I
really
see.
bad. Sorry, go ahead, Popo. The connection's really bad, mate. You're gonna have to try again. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I live in the middle of nowhere. My internet's completely bad.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Are you in the UK?
Question. Yes, I am in Britain.
Fair enough. Whereabouts? Like we're in the country.
Yeah. All I technically can say without revealing anything personal is
Oh,
I
yeah.
live in the middle of nowhere. There is
Fair
fields
enough.
for miles.
I'm just curious, like north, south, or something like that, because I'm from North England, from a place called Chorley. But yeah, in England, mate, it's pretty. I mean, getting hold of things like supplements, for example, for like vitamin D, vitamin B12 is, you know, in England, no matter where you are in the country, you can get that. I mean, you can either buy it online or you can buy it from most like Tesco's, and you know, Asda have it, and pharmacies have it, and so that's not an issue. And also, you're pretty lucky to live in one of the most vegan countries in the world. Like every supermarket has its own vegan section, so not that you need that, but it's pretty awesome to have it, mate. It's like the best like vegan burgers and sausages and junk food. If you're into junk food, the best vegan junk food like is available on the shelves in England right now. So I mean, yeah, it's a pretty good place to go vegan, to be honest.
Yeah, there's a kind of meme on vegan Twitter, or even the vegan online community that's not in the UK, where we're all just extremely jealous of the fact that most vegan products just get tested in the UK and sold there, where like in America, that's just not as much of the case. So yeah, you have it pretty well too over there.
What do you reckon, man? Are you more convinced than before, or do you have some more questions, some more concerns?
One question.
Go ahead.
Say, like, this is all hypothetical, so it might not be true. But say an animal gave a sign that it wanted to be killed or eaten. Would you be allowed to bend the rules for that? Because technically you're like going by its last wishes. And again, it wouldn't be able to make a sign that would be if it did.
Right. So I mean, you've got to understand that, and this is what I think. I think there's been a bit of confusion, mate. I think this is a problem with the outsiders kind of looking in at vegans. I think there's a problem with how vegans show themselves to the world, right? And it looks to some people like a religion. So what you've just said, like, oh, a vegan wouldn't be able to end an animal's life if they wanted it to be ended. Like, for example, a dog who has reached like a very old age may actually want to die, right? They might not want to go on anymore. The idea that a vegan couldn't do that that's like a religious thing. Veganism is not a religious thing. It's not like faith-based or something like that. It's not like there are, you know, like rules that you can never kill an animal. That's not based in anything rational, is it? It's not reasonable to say that. So no, although some vegans do believe in that way, they take it another level. They do act, you know, like kind of in a religious way. Like I don't know if you know ahimsa. It's like a philosophy from India where they believe in, you know, non-harm. And yeah, some vegans go down that road, but that's not necessarily a part of being a vegan. Like being a vegan just means you don't go and cause any unnecessary violence and suffering to animals. So in short, to answer your question, I would hope that most vegans would put an animal out of the suffering rather than letting them suffer, right? It's not like a rule that you can't do that. That would be a ridiculous rule. And if a vegan tries to argue that that's wrong, I would want to separate myself from that vegan and speak for the vegans that are more reasonable, to be honest. Danny, what do you think? Do you have something to add?
Yeah,
to
I
that?
was going to say most vegans I've talked to about killing an animal who's majority suffering, they've all pretty much said like, yeah, of course that's okay. I mean, vegans don't just place emphasis on the fact that an animal is living. We also take into account their suffering to well-being ratio and whether it's worth it for them to continue living. So if an animal is suffering like insanely, most reasonable vegans are going to be like, okay, putting down this animal might be in the best interest of the animal, just like we think with humans as well. You know, if their existence is primarily just agony, and we acknowledge that, okay, it might be a good idea to end the existence, but that's a very complicated topic and there's a lot of nuance, and it's a very like situation by situation kind of thing. But yeah, most vegans would be okay with it.
Yeah, I think so. I'd hope so. But then, you know, people are weird, right? You can't speak for everyone. There are definitely some people out there who are, you know, emotionally charged and not so grounded in kind of rationality. But yeah, I'd agree that most people would be willing to do that and to put the animal out of suffering, right? But yeah, how does that fare with you? Are you asking that because is that something you'd be worried about? Like you're worried about being vegan means you couldn't do that, or like how does this impact you and your decision to go vegan or not go vegan?
It was literally just a question that I
Oh,
was
okay.
wondering about, but it has impacted the decision of becoming vegan.
Ah, fair enough. So where do you stand then? Now you know that you can get the nutrition. Now you know that you could euthanize an animal if you needed to. What other reasons would you have for not being vegan and not paying for all of that violence?
It pretty much balances like so, more into vegan than not, you know.
Okay, fair enough. So you're leaning more towards the vegan side, which is that's good, man. No, it's good. What if you could think now, right? Okay, if I asked you now, like, what stops you from just literally saying, do you know what, tomorrow I'm gonna stop paying for all of that, and I'm gonna get the vegan food, and I'm gonna do it. Like, what would hold you back from doing that?
Probably giving up the taste of tomato sauce and other foods. They go together and taste so delicious. Anything with tomato sauce.
The taste of tomatoes. Did I miss? Was there a miss? All we heard was tomato sauce. Was there something else that that got cut out of that sentence?
I would have to give up the addiction of anything with tomato sauce.
But why would you have to give up tomato sauce though?
It goes so well with everything, including stuff like meat. So it's going to be like a tough decision.
So I mean, tomato sauce is vegan, and if you're saying that you'd have to give up combining vegan tomato sauce with meat, I mean, you could always just have vegan tomato sauce. I don't even know why I'm saying vegan tomato sauce. I mean, tomato sauce is like inherently vegan, but you could take that tomato sauce and combine it with vegan meat. So I don't think you'd have to give it up necessarily. I mean, like maybe from an animal, but you can get the same taste from vegan products, like just vegan meat with your tomato sauce.
Yeah, tomato sauce is like, yeah, it's bomb. I get it. I agree with you. I also like tomato sauce, but it's vegan, man. You don't have to worry about that. Just put it on something else and you're set. I can't tell if you're being serious right now, to be honest.
I am serious. I have a true addiction to tomato sauce.
That's fair
I cannot
enough.
eat it without anything.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
Listen, man, a lot of people have an addiction to cheese, and that stops them from. But luckily, you have an addiction to tomato sauce, which is already vegan. So looks like you're good to go.
Just want to say something, mate. You keep doing this, and I just want to correct you. It's tomato sauce. Just to don't want you to make a fool of yourself.
Oh, we don't say that in the West.
Yeah, it's
How have I been saying it?
It's the sorry.
Have I been saying it?
No. It's the American that's been saying it because they speak simplified English. So I'm just trying to do him a favor and show him how to speak English properly.
Yeah, we could talk about how you didn't know what the word lexicon meant in our conversation prior to the stream.
Hey, look, right. That was a private conversation, and I'm very upset that you just revealed it to the world. To be honest with you, I thought we were better than that, mate. I didn't realize I was coming on here to get cancelled for not knowing what lexicon means.
We learned that word in America, so sorry.
Yeah, but you also learn the words like flashlight instead of torch. So I mean, I think the British have a bit of an upper hand when it comes to language, mate. Sidewalk instead of path or pavement. I mean, do you really need to be like so literal with everything that you guys come up with?
I will say that you guys, I don't want to get too off topic here, but last thing about this little banter. I will say that you guys say herb instead of herb, and I think that makes more sense than herb, like skipping out the H.
Well, yeah, it's got a H on it, so I mean, yeah.
But either way, you didn't. It's tomato sauce, so whatever.
So in closing, Popo, dude, you can get the nutrition you need. You can. There's no like, if you need to help an animal by putting them out of their misery, you can also do that. And ketchup, tomato sauce, tomato-based sauces. Most tomato-based sauces are vegan. You might get the odd one that's a tomato cream sauce that has dairy products in, but you can just make that yourself by getting the tomato sauce without the cream and putting in a vegan cream, which there's shitloads of now. Sorry, shouldn't swear. Loads of now in England. So I think you're set to go, mate. Well, unless there's something else that would. What do you think? Is there anything else that could hold you back that would make it a challenge for you or that you're worried about?
I have no more questions. My laptop battery is about to die.
Right, fair enough. Fair enough. Well, I could if someone listening could do this for me, or I could do it. No, if someone listening could do this for me, someone could inbox Popo, send him a message with challenge 22. That would be sweet. So basically, mate, before you go, I'll send you it myself. Screw it. There's a page that's a British, I think they're English actually, based in England, called challenge22.com, and they give people like you who are going vegan like for the first time. Well, for the first time, I suppose, yeah, who weren't vegan before, now are going vegan. They give you like a free starter kit, so you can have like assistance from them, nutritional advice, where to buy stuff, and they fully support you. So I've just sent you that now, challenge22.com. It's awesome, honestly. It's really cool, and they're really supportive and helpful people. So definitely check that out, mate, and sign up.
All right.
All right, man. Cool. See you later. Thanks for your question.
Can I say something to the audience? Can I say
Okay.
something to the audience?
Yeah, sure.
Stay safe, be healthy, and have fun, but don't have too much fun. That can kill you.
All right, man. It's a good message. Cheers.
Don't have too much tomato sauce either.
Don't have too much tomato sauce, because that'll definitely kill you. That's the first time I've ever heard anyone say I really like tomato sauce. Damn it, bro. Tomato sauce.
Tomato sauce. Yeah, usually it's I would go vegan but cheese, but this time I'd go vegan but tomato sauce. But luckily, like I said, it's vegan. So
Yeah, exactly. We've got another member with roles, Bully Maguire, which I think is an awesome name, by the way. Do you know Bully Maguire? Do you know what it is, Danny?
No, it sounds very familiar.
So Spider-Man 3. Do you remember that? The original.
Oh, is it like the black Spider-Man version, like the darker Peter Parker?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he does all that stupid dancing, and he's got the emo fringe and the eyeliner, the guy liner. And they've nicknamed it. People like the internet has nicknamed it Bully Maguire because he's just like a total jerk. This guy has got that as his name and his photo as well. So let's see what Bully Maguire's got to
Funny,
say.
I watched that movie as a kid and I liked it, and then I watched it as an adult, and I was like, oh.
Yeah. We watched it just the other week. Bully Maguire. I watched Spider-Man 3 like literally like last week. Yeah.
Yeah, Spider-Man 3 is actually poggers.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's good. It's kind of bad also.
Wait, can I screen
but
share
good.
or not?
Do you want to do? Sorry, what?
Can I screen share?
I don't think you can, mate. I don't think you got permissions for it here.
Okay, yeah. Anyway, so meat, it's bad because I beat it.
Is that really why you came? Why has he just put his headphone up? Is that all you came to say? Really?
He's being Bully Maguire.
He's
right
literally he's acting.
Shut up, bro! Beat you, big man. Yeah. Okay. So basically, don't eat meat. Eat an egg, pug.
Why? Why do you want to eat eggs, man? Think about what that is.
Raw eggs. Bro.
Yeah. What are you doing? Why are you doing that? You're trying to build some muscle or something? Thinking you need to do raw eggs.
Bro.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah. Just stick them under your arms, fam. It's not that hard.
Is it? Yeah. Sure. So what are you doing?
There's things you can eat.
Wait,
for,
can I
muscle.
tell you a joke only vegans will get?
Go on then.
Parental love.
Joke only vegans will get. I don't get it, mate. What are you on about?
No, I don't get it.
Yeah, exactly. You don't get parental love because you're vegan.
Oh, fucking hell. Walked right into that one, didn't
that's
we?
Pretty good. That's pretty good.
Jesus. That's embarrassing. We just got roasted by a kid, man. How old are you?
30.
13. Unbelievable,
No,
man.
13.
Yeah, 13 is what I said, mate. I didn't say 30, did I?
No, like the old man age.
It's not, man. I'm 32, you little shit.
Hey, don't swear. Don't swear.
Bro.
It's all right.
That's racist.
I was told I'm allowed to swear now, actually. Look, hey, mate, look. What are you doing in a vegan server? What are you doing here?
Trolling, obviously.
Mate, you're not trolling. You're having this is lot trolling. This is actually fine, man. You're just having a laugh. But like, why do it in a vegan server? You know what you're interested,
because
right?
you lot are saying grr, animal abuse.
What do you like animal abuse?
The thing is, it's not actually happening. They tranquilize them and then you eat it.
We tranquilize them. If that were true, mate, that would mean you're eating tranquilizer.
Yeah, it tastes good.
Nah, I don't, mate. They're not tranquilizing them, mate. It's not true. But anyway,
They
listen.
actually they end up
I actually work in
killing
one,
them.
a slaughterhouse.
You don't work in a slaughterhouse. You're 13.
No, I'm 32.
This is probably like the average that vegan teacher troll. You know what I mean?
He's
like
not
in
though,
the
because he's not.
vocal form.
He's not though. He's not, because he's not being a like. He's being a bit silly, but he's not being a total asshole, which like vegan teacher
Bro,
trolls are.
Scrap me on Roblox now.
What?
Scrap me on Roblox.
Mate, I don't even know what you're saying, man. Speak English. What does that even mean?
Have a fight with me on Roblox.
Okay. Like, listen, man. Clearly, you're here for a reason, because you're interested in what's being said, what's going on. So why don't you ask a normal question?
Okay, yeah.
Normal question. Don't troll. Ask a real question that you want to know the answer to.
Why are you fatherless?
Why what?
Why are you fatherless? I think you
Fatherless.
said.
Fatherless. Is that what you said?
It might be projecting. I don't know.
I think he is projected. Come on, ask a. You got one more chance, mate. Ask a legit question, or we'll just end it. You know, it was fun, but ask something serious. Come on.
Celery salad.
Bell end, man. All right, he's done. He's gone. He's out of here.
Definitely going. No way.
Yeah, it's not. You know, honestly, mate. That I know you said like, oh, he's a typical vegan teacher troll, but he's actually not, because he wasn't being a jerk. He was just being silly. The vegan teacher trolls are nasty, man. They're like brutal. They're saying the worst things about her and vegans. Like, you know, they're trying to be as gruesome and nasty as possible. Like, he's just messing around. That's why I'm not really that bothered about that, to be honest. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe vocally he's less, because a lot of people over text will be more brutal too when they're.
That's a good point.
Not,
yeah, because they're wimps.
Like, I remember when I was a kid, I used to be like that too, and like if I had the chance to do something over text, I'd be way more brutal than like in an audience of people.
That's a really good point, and it's about like accountability, which is this is a good message for anyone that's thinking about coming in. Is that like these days there's like no accountability for what you do online, which I think personally is a big problem. And I think if you are accountable for what you do and say online, like you choose to be accountable, I think that makes you a really good person and like a strong person, versus like, because you know you can get away with it, right? You can get away with anything practically online these days, but if you choose not to, I think that makes you like a really strong person, because it's tempting to just, you know, hide and say all the things that, you know, bad things that you've got bouncing around your head and get away with it. But if you restrain yourself, then I don't know. I think it shows strength of character if you can be accountable for the shit you say online, to be honest.
Yeah, I think this kind of thinking too, though, is it's hard to land with the adolescent brain. Like I remember when I was a kid, dude, I didn't care whatsoever. You're just kind of like just doing stuff, and the idea of like personal responsibility is almost like not even there. But I know what you're saying. Like, totally.
Yeah, for sure. We have someone again with roles called Gron, who wants to come in, so we'll bring Gron in. Oh, before we do though, just on YouTube we've had 2 donations. Just want to quickly say thank you to Michael Askew, who donated $15. Says let's go Danny and David. Yes. And DJ Lernal donated $5.91, which is I don't know why it did that. Maybe it translated it from a different currency, converted it $5.91. But thank you so much to both of you. Thank you for supporting Danny and I. And for those in the Discord that don't know our names, by the way, it's I'm David, and this is Lifting Vegan Logic is Danny. So, and we're both
first name is Lifting.
Exactly. Yeah. We're both YouTubers, YouTube friends. Ooh, YouTube. You're not going to respond to that? I'll just sound really stupid.
Not in person. Just, just YouTube. If I saw David in person, I would probably walk away.
Yeah, same over here, to be honest. Yeah, you look at you in your profile picture, man. You're a thug. You're not someone that you know.
Oh yeah, bro.
You can't be approached. You're not approachable. Can't be done.
Doing my cable curls, you know.
Exactly. Look at that tribal tattoo. You're clearly a gang member.
Nah, that's a metal band actually.
What, really? What band?
Mushroom Head.
For real, is it?
Yeah, the top one. I mean, the middle one is is a demonic. It's from a demon from the movie Sinister.
Right.
So I don't. You can call it tribe. I don't know.
So you're so metal, mate. I can't even match that.
I'm just so edgy, bro.
So metal.
I'm edgier than that kid that just came in the call.
So dark and gothic and hardcore. All right, let's bring Gron in.
Exactly.
Let's get Gron. Gron's been waiting for a while. Lots of people are waiting while we're just chatting shit. By the way, you can swear, apparently, just not excessively. Like that's so we're allowed to say, like, you know, the odd one. Gron, what's up?
Sweet.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah. Just about.
Just wanted to
Yep.
say, lifting vegan logic, you pretty much proved that you can be vegan and be swole. So, congrats.
Oh, thank you. I mean, yeah, it's good to have like singular cases, but also I would just say, you know, outside of just little anecdotes, like there's so many, and we just know too, it's very well possible with plant nutrition.
So, I'm like trying to become a vegan, I guess, but what I don't really get is, like, it may sound bad, but why is it bad to eat meat? I guess because like killing is just a way of life, you know.
I mean,
Not killing, but
yeah. That sounds pretty dark, man. Are you okay? Like, what do you do in your spare time?
like death, you know, the concept of death is just so normal.
I get it, man. It's like, yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, life and death is part of life, and the only thing that is certain is death, right? That's the only thing that you will 100% that is guaranteed to happen to you, no matter what. You will die, right? So I totally get what you're saying, but I think the reason that, well, I don't know. I'll speak for myself here. The reason I don't use that to say, well, okay, I'll just go and kill animals for meat is because, well, yeah, the animals live and die, true, but I don't want animals to live and die just because I want a burger. Like, I don't want someone to go and breed an animal and then slit their throat so I can have a burger. Like, I would personally rather that animal didn't ever exist rather than them exist and then go to a slaughterhouse and have to go through all of that. Or, you know, even if it's not in a slaughterhouse, even if it's done on a farm, it's brutal, mate, and it's completely unnecessary. So animals live and die, yeah, true, but they don't have to be bred into existence and you know, killed at a quarter of their lifespan for burgers. We can just eat a bean burger or whatever, tofu burger, or whatever kind of burger. There's plenty of options. We don't need to do that. So that's
and I mean, just because death is like a normal thing and it happens, I wouldn't say that just justifies going around murdering other beings, whether it's cows, humans, dogs, cats. Like, yes, it happens, but we should obviously seek to minimize the degree to which things die, and we should to just instead breed things like David was saying for the sake of murdering them. It's just like, well, I mean, imagine if somebody went around and killed someone and was like, in court, they were like, oh, well, you know, death and killing, it's been around for a long time. It's normal. Like, why is what I'm doing a problem? It's like,
imagine it just like in front of the judge, like, well, look, judge, death is inevitable. So, I mean, technically, I didn't do anything wrong. I mean, dude was gonna die eventually. So, like, back up, yeah? No problems here.
I guess that makes sense.
You know what I mean?
There was another thing. It kind of got answered partially. I like to listen into this. It's kind of helping me a lot, actually. But, like, my neighbor's a farmer and I like to help him a lot. They're completely free range. They do pretty much whatever they want. He's spiritual, so he believes if you make them happy and give them a good life, then it's okay to have them supply for us, like give food for us, pretty much.
I mean,
what do you think about that?
It doesn't sound very spiritual though, really, when you break it down, does it? Like a truly this is the thing with spiritual people, a lot of them, and I don't know your friend as you know, I don't know him personally, but there's a lot of YouTubers out there that consider themselves to be spiritual and they say something very similar and, oh, well, you know, I make sure, like, I don't know, I give respect when I kill them, or I make sure they were happy before I kill them. And they don't usually say the word kill. They say, like you said, before I don't know, take the supplies from them, before I use them, or but the reality is, mate, is that yeah, you make them happy, that's good, thank you, look after them, care for them, make them happy. But when you pull out a knife and slit their throat, you are no longer doing anything spiritual or good. You've crossed the line into unnecessary violence for the sake of a burger or whatever it is you were killing them for. So there's nothing. And if we, and by the way, I don't want to dismiss like tribal people who have their beliefs about spirituality and have no choice but to kill animals. Like there are people in tribes that literally have no choice, and they do it in the way that they believe to be the best way. And we can get, that's a whole other topic. We're not talking about those people. We're talking about someone who can literally not do that and chooses to do it and still calls it spiritual for some reason. You know, do you see what I'm getting at here? It's like, how could that be considered, loving or compassionate?
I get that part where you like take a knife and it kind of negates it all, but I think his view is like the meat ties to like happiness because it had a happy life, so the meat has like a happier like side to it instead of being raised in like a dark planet.
I would say that just because you can have like an animal be raised in conditions that are better than a factory farm, it doesn't mean that okay, like now it's okay to murder them. I mean, think about it like basically what you're asking is if you give an animal a good life, is it justified to take their life? And just imagine if this standard was imposed upon like every single pet owner, like a dog owner or a cat owner, and people decided to just kill their pets for meat after a certain amount of time went by where they were raised nicely. And this is just not something that I think we should standardize, because you'd have people killing their pets after being nice to them. It's like, how about we just not kill them and just treat them nicely up until they end up dying like everyone else? Like what? It's weird, and we never say like, oh, this person had a good life, they had a positive experience overall, now I'm gonna go kill them for meat. It's like, no. Okay. And certainly it's better than being raised in a factory farm, but just because it's better doesn't mean that it's ethical. It's still unethical. You're still murdering the person.
And it's like there's always really, I make these jokes, right, because they really do. Like, I don't think it's funny, what's happening to animals, but I make these kind of comments here that I'm going to make now to show you how ridiculous it looks when you move that logic and you actually apply it. So it's like Danny was saying. It's like, imagine you come across someone, and right in front of you, they are about to kill a dog. They're about to slit the dog's throat, and you say, "Hey, what are you doing?" And they're like, "Wait, well, what's the problem here? There's no problem here. I gave this dog a great life, and now because I want to, I'm going to cut their throat." And it's like, no one is going to say, "Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, totally. Yeah, that's actually really spiritual of you to do that, to give them a good life before you," and when farmers say this and hunters say this, they make it sound so nice and like, "Oh yeah," it's like, because people see those animals as food animals. They don't see them as animals. But the reality is there is no difference between a cow, a pig, or a dog apart from your perception. So if you would do it to a pig and say it's okay, you have to be able to also do it to a dog and say it's okay. And then that's when you start to realize, wait a minute, this is messed up. Like, this is not good. And everybody would agree that if we saw someone doing that to a dog, we'd be like, no. And if they said that, oh, it's spiritual though, we'd laugh at them and say, no, it isn't, mate. What is wrong with you? So I take that same reaction and apply it to a farmer who claims they're being spiritual too. It's BS, man. It's definitely not a spiritual thing.
So I get that. Like,
yeah. What about so? I mean, the question really, man, is you got some good questions there. You have some good points. What is holding you back then from? You agree. What's holding you back now from stopping being part of that? All that violence. Like, what's holding you back from tomorrow changing what you do and buy and being vegan?
Well, I would say it's just the taste, but I heard earlier that's just like instant satisfaction, right, or whatever it's called.
Yeah. So, go ahead.
Say just a lot of laziness, just because there's not really. I'm in the middle of bumfuck nowhere, so there's not really a lot of good vegan options besides like standard like tomatoes and fruit and stuff.
So is bumfuck nowhere like even more nowhere than just nowhere? the middle of bumfuck nowhere. Is that like a?
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, I mean, I don't know, Danny, you're based in the US. Maybe you can advise. I don't know what bumfuck nowhere in the US is like. I only know England, and bumfuck nowhere in the middle of England is definitely not as in the middle of nowhere as it is in the US, right? So, and I guess you're in the US, right, Gron?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Danny, you can.
I guess.
Yeah, I mean, everybody is around a certain amount of vegan options, and I've always said, like, even if you're in a situation where the only thing you have access to is like the basics, like we said before about how like the appeal to pleasure doesn't justify killing. I would say just because you don't have access to those better options doesn't mean that it's now okay for you to continue to support the cruelty. So I would say that I understand that it's way more difficult in your scenario from like a pleasure perspective because you don't have, maybe all these different mock products around you.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I would say that it doesn't really justify it. And when you're feeling like limited here, it's like you have to think about what you're actually preventing in remaining vegan, even in a limited situation. Like, think about all the factory farm footage and the terrible murder and death and exploitation that you're preventing in being vegan. And I would also say, too, I mean, there might be things around you that are vegan that you're not aware. I don't know if you have, like, for example, Burger King next to you, but they have like the Impossible Whopper, which if you get it without mayonnaise, it's vegan. So I would also just do like maybe some research because a lot of people could be around vegan options without even realizing it. And yeah, so I wouldn't be so certain. Like, I don't know your exact situation, of course, but if you have Burger King around you, that's one thing. And yeah, I mean, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I guess it just, I don't know. I wish they had, I hear in like, I don't know if it's in the UK, but some places have vegan fast food places.
Yeah.
I wish that would be normalized here. That'd be.
Yeah, it depends on the location. Like I said, I mean, like Portland, California. I mean, I don't like, what state are you in, if you don't mind me
Massachusetts.
Asking? Okay, yeah. I mean, it's gonna probably be a little more difficult there. I mean, I would say like just to be optimistic about the future too, because as more and more people are becoming plant-based or vegan, more businesses are finding incentive to provide vegan options. So in the meantime, if it's more difficult for you, just understand that might not be forever, and there might be a vegan fast food place near you that opens, or at the very least, they provide vegan options like the Beyond Burger, Impossible Burger, and others.
But
I was gonna say shout out to David, but you're right here. You linked that challenge.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
try that.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, check it out. Challenge22.com. Yeah, I was just gonna say, I'm not going against what Danny's saying here, but please like be aware. Don't try not to fall into a trap of thinking that vegan fast food is healthy and good, because you'll end up probably doing quite a bit of damage. So just like be really aware of that. Like, I think a lot of people who go vegan or at least start eating plant-based and then say it made them sick. They say it made them sick because they were eating really badly, like really processed food all the time, thinking like, oh, it's vegan, so it's good. So just, even vegan junk food needs to be in moderation. So definitely consider that, mate. You don't want to end up, being tricked into that, because there's a lot of companies right now trying to put vegan products out as if they're healthy. They're not all healthy, right? Vegan burgers, still unhealthy. Vegan sausages, still unhealthy. Nowhere near as bad as meat, but still not something you want to be eating like 3 times a day in every meal, right?
Yeah,
so
I just mean like the weekend once in a.
Exactly. So that what I've just sent you, challenge22.com. Those guys will be able to give you advice on like nutrition in general, and they'll also be able to help you get the junk food, the fast food as well. But they'll be able to give you actual proper meals that are not gonna, they're gonna put you in a hospital bed. So one day they'll actually be able to give you some like decent meals as well. So you're not surviving on the Impossible Burger.
Well, I guess I'll come back in 22 days. Thank you.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome. Sign up. You'll love it, mate. They're a great team. For anyone else wondering what this is, challenge22.com. They'll be able to hook you up with a free vegan like starter pack and give you all that information and advice. And yeah, Gron, see you in 22 days, mate. Or you'll come back and tell us how you've gone 100% vegan and you're never looking back.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Definitely. Cool. Thanks, mate. Danny, you didn't say bye. How rude.
I was about to. I have the push to talk on, so there's a little delay. So.
Okay. I was gonna say at the beginning,
But if
like,
he's still here,
he can still hear
I'll
us.
say
Yeah.
bye now. Yeah.
I was pretty gutted that he mentioned how you like are big and muscly, but didn't say anything about me. Just that hurt.
Oh, I think the reason, I think it's obvious why. No, I'm kidding.
Hey, I'm absolutely ripped, mate. I don't know what you're talking about. Shredded.
You should just change your profile picture to like Nimai Delgado or something, and it'll just be activism on its own.
Hey, what's your name, Nimai? Just go be Nimai for a day. That would be pretty funny, actually, to do that. But no, it'd be deceptive. I'm not going to do that. So, YouTube. There's people in the YouTube chat like that are going all like, "Oh, these people will never debate me. Oh, these people never come debate me." It's like, guys, listen. You can only debate us if you come and join the Discord, and if you get approved and get a role. That's what you got to do. I'll just put the Discord again in the chat. You can come along, but I love it though. Like, it's easy to sit in the chat and be like, "Oh, you guys would never debate me." It's much more difficult to actually come and get involved in the debate, right? So we'll see how many of you little goons will actually come over to the Discord and jump in. But yeah, we're not here to have I guess what you could call like shit talking. Like, if anyone's just gonna come in and shit talk, you'll be booted out. But if you want to come and actually ask some questions and some interesting topics, and yeah, we can do it, right? Danny?
Yep. Sorry. Again, the push to talk.
Why have you got that on? Like, what does it even mean, push to talk?
You basically have to hold down the button whenever you're talking. Like, at the moment, I'm holding down this button to speak.
Why not just?
I forgot why I had it on.
Yeah.
I think there was a reason. Let me see if I can turn it off.
Yeah, I guess it would be a lot better for you to just be able to go. Yeah. Oh. All right, let's bring in someone else. We got Kurak Gaming. They can come in. Let's have a look. Kurak, you've been invited, mate. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. Well, I want to be as ripped as you guys because like I'm really fat.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that your question?
No. I just want to ask,
Good.
how do you get to do it?
To be ripped? Oh man, you better off asking the guy who does this for a living. Danny's right here.
Yeah.
Hook him up.
So, I mean, fitness is simple, but at the same time, you have to ask a lot of questions about where a person's at. But in short, if you want to become ripped, you need to consume well, you said you're fat, so I don't like at this point you're going to want to start with eating at a calorie deficit, which just means eating less calories than you're expending on a daily basis. And if you want to be ripped, usually when people say ripped, they mean to some extent that they have like a lower body fat percentage and the amount of muscle in their body is optimal to a certain extent. So you also want to commit to some form of weight training, 3 to 5 days a week, even maybe 6 if you want to be obsessed like I am, and commit to a weight training program. But just understand that when you're at the state that you're in right now, the first thing you're going to want to do is to lose the weight. But it'll be a very good thing for you to weight train in the process of it, because I can't express to you how many people go from being fat to just like skinny fat because the only way that they lost weight, or the only way they pursued optimal physique, was just by losing body fat, and they didn't weight train. So definitely weight train as well while you lose body fat. And then over time, if you're consistent with everything, being ripped should come. But understand that consistency is key, and that what you do to get to that point also needs to be sustained as a lifestyle. You can't just lose the body fat and then gain the muscle and then stop working out and then everything just stays. It's like, no, you have to sustain it. So that's in short. I mean, like, personally training someone is, like I said, is very complex, and we'd have to have like a full-on conversation about where you're at physiologically and your access to certain equipment and whatever. But that's in a nutshell what you should do to be ripped, and of course through vegan means. So you don't want to be having you consume flesh of animals that were murdered, or their excretions, such as like milk, but instead an array of plant foods, legumes like beans and lentils, nuts and seeds, tofu, tempeh, seitan, if you have access to that product, TVP. And I know I'm saying a lot of things right now, so don't worry about memorizing all of this. But this is hopefully some of this sticks. If you want, you can just DM me on Instagram, and I can give you some more specific tips geared toward what you're looking for.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically that's it. I mean, not much, right?
Simple, right? It's really simple stuff, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not much.
I think summarized, it's just like lift heavy shit, eat better, and do it as much as you can, like sustainably. Is that about it, Danny? Basically.
Yeah, basically. I mean, and don't fall for bullshit fads online. In fitness, there's so much pseudoscience and like gimmicks and like get ripped in 2 seconds, like kind of things. And
Yeah.
it's not really how it works.
Yeah, man.
Oh, I have one more question. Why is milk so bad?
Why is it bad? Yeah.
Because it makes your bones strong and stuff.
Yeah, this is it, mate. Like that. So right. If I tell you now, right, what color do you think of when you think of calcium? Or like what do you think when I say calcium, what do you think? Like what's the next word that comes to your head? If I say calcium, what are you imagining?
Milk.
Exactly, right? Mental. But that is not the only place to get calcium. And milk isn't even that good a source of calcium. It's all propaganda bullshit, mate. Like it's been pushed on us from me too. From when we were born, our parents believed it, their parents believed it, their parents believed it. It's been going on for years. It's actually not true. You can get calcium from other places. You can get calcium from plants. Like there's a lot of calcium in plant foods. So that's, first of all, it's just like get that out of the way, that milk isn't even the best place to get calcium. But why is it bad though? So even if let's imagine for the sake of argument, let's say milk is actually great for calcium. Let's say milk is really, really good and it has loads of nutrition. Even if it did, we can get all the nutrition from other places. Why would we want to do it from other places? Man, do you know anything about what happens to cows? Do you know how it works? Like how a cow makes milk and why they make milk?
They get milked.
Right, but do you know how we get them to make milk?
We force them.
How would we do that? Any idea?
Yes.
What do you think? How do you think it works? If you don't know, it's all right. I can like tell you. I'm just wondering.
I know,
what
but
you
it's
know.
like very inappropriate, kind of.
Oh, don't worry, mate. Like, you can say it. It's all right. Like, where this is a place where we discuss these things. Just you can describe it.
Oh. So it's basically like, like you're jerking the like things so that milk comes out.
Yeah. Oh, that's how you get it out of the udders, right? But okay, yeah, okay. But before that point, so for example, right, humans, like female, like women and girls, they don't just walk around with milk all the time, right? Humans, they don't. The only time a human has milk in the breasts is when she's had a kid, right? That's because we're mammals. So the only time that your mum, sister, aunt, or whatever would have milk is when they've had a baby. Like your mum when you had you, my mum when she had me.
So you're basically saying that they make kids and then they kill the kids for food, and that's when they start milking the cows.
Right, basically, yeah. And you got to think about this, right? How do they get the cow pregnant? So what they do is they go, and I'm not making this up, right? You can check this out. I'll send you a link to a documentary that explains everything. That's a UK documentary, right? They jerk off bulls, literally, okay, to get the sperm. They take that sperm, they go to a cow, they shove one hand inside her ass, because they need to locate her cervix, right? This is all part of the way they have to get them pregnant. They lift her cervix up, and then they get a needle, and they shove that inside her and inject that bull's sperm into the cow. That's how they get cows pregnant in the dairy industry. So that all happens. She's tied up at that point, kicking, trying to get out of the way, trying to get away from it. This all happens, right? So they force their arms inside her and inject her. Like, if that was, what would you call that? If that was happening to a human, what would you say it is? What would you call it?
Abuse.
Abuse, right? So it's abuse when it happens to a cow too. And that's what they do to them, right? That's how they get them pregnant. They do that because the cow only gives milk if she's had a baby, a calf, and then they get her pregnant. when she has the calf, what you said is true. They take the calf away. If that calf is a female, then she'll grow up and have the same stuff happen to her. If that calf is a boy, he'll go and be killed for meat. So like almost immediately, they call them veal calves. So they kill them as babies to sell as baby cow meat, right? That's what you can buy in the shops. It's veal. So that's the dairy industry, mate. That's why vegans are trying to tell everyone, please, let's stop paying for that shit. That's horrendous. Let's just get calcium and all the nutrition we need from plant-based food instead.
What about the milk that gets made from like other things apart from cows?
Well, like, you mean like goats or something?
No, like there's like nut milk or something, or like something like that.
Yeah, well, they don't forcibly impregnate the nuts, mate. So they they just, all you do, mate, you can make nut milk at home. You can make nut milk at home, man. All you gotta do is get some nuts, blend it up, I get some water, and then you've got like a sieve, right, or you know, like a cloth or whatever. You pour the nuts and water through the cloth, and then you're left with just the water, and that's nut milk. That's literally how they make it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I need a like so. I eat
It's a little
like,
more ethical,
meat.
right?
Yeah,
I
a bit
eat
more
meat, but
ethical.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to stop. Anyway, I eat milk and I eat meat and milk.
Yeah.
But like, you know, I'm trying to stop, but I can't. And then so yeah,
Why can't you stop?
because like my mom makes it, and then I just eat it.
Right.
Basically.
Have you ever talked to your mum about any of the stuff that we're talking about now?
No.
No. So I'll tell you what, mate. I'll tell you what we can do. I'll send you this documentary I was talking about. It's about the you're in England, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can tell. Somewhere in the south, maybe.
Yeah, like middle.
Yeah, I kind of tell from the accent. So I'll send you this link. It's a documentary called Land of Hope and Glory. It's like all filmed in the UK. It tells you the location of every single scene in the top right, so you know exactly where this happened. It's like, and it shows you the whole system, like the milk industry, the meat industry, the eggs, everything. So maybe you could watch it, or maybe you could actually watch it with your mum to show her like what's going on, and then you know, I'm sure she'd want to switch and start buying different things after watching that, mate. It's honestly, it's crazy the kind of stuff they're hiding from us. Everything that I've just told you is all hidden from us, right? It's hidden from your mum too, so
okay,
definitely watch that with her.
There's this last thing. Okay. Wait.
What? Why? What is this?
Mm.
You still there? What the hell was that?
Kids, man. I don't know.
Is this some like? Wasn't that Arabic?
Mysterious humor. It sounded like it. I mean, I'm Israeli, so I don't know. I can distinguish Hebrew, but not really Arabic.
All right. I just assume, I'm not going to say what I was going to say. Maybe that's not cool. Okay.
Racist.
I was going to say. You know what I was going to say, but I don't know. I think we've got to be more PC in here. Like, we can't go down those, you know, completely non-PC routes. With
yeah, you can say it after. Say it after.
Yeah, Dantas will shout at me if I go down the non-PC route. I know that. I know he's watching. He's watching closely.
Mm-hmm.
All right. People are asking some questions here. So apparently, it's a spiritual chant that he was playing, and people are saying that, like, I hope people are saying for some reason that might get us demonetized. I don't know why. I don't know why it would. I don't know what it was supposed to be, but yeah, I don't know, man. Anyway, we've got a few more people wanted to come up. Thoughtbat wants to come up, which I'm surprised to see. I don't know if it's the real Thoughtbat or if it's an imitation. Let's see. Hello.
It is the real Thoughtbat.
It is you. Why have you got the non-vegan thing then?
You tell me, mate. It's because I disagreed with their exact ethical framework. you remember in our conversation?
Yeah.
I said some people don't call me vegan because I disagreed with their exact ethics. Well, it's
Right.
these guys. So I'm not a vegan apparently, and you're here to make me vegan, even though I don't consume animal products.
What was? Fuck's sake! What was the What? Okay, all right. Let's understand what's going on. Right, this is interesting, but let's not spend too long on it because we do want to speak to like actual people who are abusing animals, or like okay, that was inflammatory. People who are paying for animal abuse, let's say. We want to get through to some of those people and convince them to stop doing that. So, what is the what happened? Briefly, if you could tell us.
I did that interview thing.
Yeah.
That you need to do before you get in here.
Yeah.
And they asked me what my opinions on like ethics and stuff was, and I said, look, if I don't believe in animal rights, as we've gone over.
Yeah.
But they said, no, we here believe that to be vegan, you need to think it's a moral obligation. Well, if you're a moral subjectivist, then you can't be a vegan then.
Right.
So,
okay. Is that it?
Also, there was some things. Yeah, well, pretty much. There also was some things about no, if I had just chickens in the backyard, would I eat the eggs? Would I have any moral objection to that?
Right.
Probably not. It's just they're just in the backyard, aren't they? But that's not really what we're objecting to. We're objecting to obviously the mass production of eggs. But
yeah.
Anyways, my argument against veganism is I did that challenge 22 thing, and after 12 minutes, my muscles deteriorated so much I disintegrated. And after having 17 hot wings, I was finally able to put my head back on my spinal cord.
So it's usually how it works.
Yeah. It's everyone has to go through that. So wait, so hold up.
Right, lads.
So hold up, right? So you believe morality is subjective, which is like a commonly held belief by a lot of people. Lots of vegans have that opinion. But the problem, the issue that morality is subjective has, when people say that they believe it's subjective and try and use it to justify abusing animals, that's when it's an issue. But if you're not using it to justify abusing animals, then what's the issue with believing the morality is subjective? I don't see a problem if you're not using it to try and do horrible things, right? I don't.
I also agree, Bell. I also agree. But that's just something to be taken up with the admins. Anyways, I'm going to get out of your way.
I'm not going against them. I was just trying to like elaborate on what's I'm trying to understand what the problem is. And as the other, there's a whole other conversation about backyard eggs as well, which this is actually good for people listening because it's something that vegans get asked a lot, like backyard eggs. Is it okay to eat backyard eggs from chickens in the back garden? And the problem is those chickens often came from breeders, right? Or they were taken from factory farms or farms. Basically, they're chickens that were bred to lay eggs, which means, to put it bluntly, they're already fucked up, right? They've been selectively bred to overproduce eggs. That really messes them up. It really, really messes their lifespan up. Gives them a lot of problems. So the focus for somebody who has a chicken in their garden should not be to eat their eggs. The focus should be how to get them to lay less eggs and how to get them more nutrition so that they don't end up suffering so much from laying so many eggs. And the best way to do that is to feed their eggs back to them, actually, because they'll eat them. But if in this crazy scenario, let's imagine you have backyard you've rescued chickens, they're laying eggs. You can't stop them from laying eggs. You've tried. Okay, so that's one thing. You've tried to stop them. They're not stopping. You keep trying to stop them, and then they won't eat the eggs. Let's imagine in this crazy scenario, you can't stop them, and you can't make them reduce, and they won't eat their own eggs. And there's nothing else at all you could do with those eggs. Nothing else. There's no other animal that could eat them. You're not looking after a carnivorous animal that could benefit from them, something like that. The only other option you have is throw them away. Then I see no moral issue at that point with eating them if you wanted to eat them. That's where I stand on that. You agree? Cool. But
yeah,
there's
it's
so
like,
many.
It's like if someone had a weird craving for I don't know, like their dog's feces. It's like you can eat it if you want. I mean, it's like, but like there's no ethical issue with it. But it is weird.
Yeah.
And so in the same way that if the egg's gonna rot or you eat it, then eat it.
And there's also one more thing I would say, one more moral problem I would have, a consideration that I would have. If that person then goes off showing off that they're eating them, I see an issue with that. So because you need to, without
Yeah, it'd be better to
explaining-
be private about it. Yeah.
Exactly, because explaining what I've just explained takes time and it takes an understanding, right? And if someone is not putting in the time to explain that fully, like an Instagram post, the post itself shows someone eating eggs, and in the description is this explanation. Most people aren't going to read the description, so they're just going to be like, "Oh, eggs are fine. I can eat eggs." You know, so there's a level of responsibility that comes with making a decision like that. So I would say, for the sake of keeping it, you know, so that people don't go off buying eggs thinking it's okay, just keep it to yourself if that's what you're going to do. And if those prerequisites are ticked, there's no moral problem, in my opinion. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I think people who post pictures of their food, especially if they're eating eggs or meat and all the rest of it, I think they're just cringe anyway. But,
yeah. That's a moral issue in itself. Just with that, there's a big moral issue with posting pictures of your food and entire. Well, I guess no. If it's all plant-based food, then it's kind of good because it inspires people, right? I suppose in a way. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I find it kind of cringe too, but I shouldn't say it. Annie's watching. She does that all the time. So
I used to do it a lot too, actually. But it was to show people, like, you know, like what you said, that there's good tasting food, or if I have a picture of something that like looks amazing, you know, you could just be like, "Oh, this vegan food is trash," you know, just make a little joke.
Yeah,
people realize like, "Oh, you could eat good tasting vegan food."
Exactly. But dude, good to see
Anyways.
you, and good to see that you are actually vegan. Anyway, because you came up with a non-vegan color, and I was like, oh no, is he like,
oh no,
gonna come up here and be like, right guys, I've got this great argument, I'm not vegan. I was like, oh no, please don't be doing this, man. I believed in you.
Mate.
I
wouldn't do that.
Oh, good man, good to hear. Good to hear from you.
Anyways,
Man.
if you see that I have posted pictures of my food onto Twitter or anything like that, then it's not the real Thoughtbat. It's not the real Thoughtbat. Block him, do whatever, kill him. I don't know. But anyways,
Awesome.
lifting vegan logic. Nice to see you. And I'll see you later. Also, subscribe to my channel. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Yeah, guys, that was Thoughtbat, and I'll kick him out. See you in a bit, mate. Boom, he's out of here. Thoughtbat's been on the channel for a debate before, and he was not vegan, and he came here armed with a shitload of anti-vegan arguments. And at the end, basically, I just asked him, like, it was a long conversation, but basically I was like, I feel like you've pushed your empathy down, and I feel like you're kind of robotic, and you kind of agreed and did a full circle and was like, no, like, I'm going to argue for veganism. I'm going to stop doing this to animals. And it's one of the honestly most inspirational changes to have someone come onto my channel to fight me on veganism and actually say, do you know what? I was wrong. I'm going to be vegan. It's really cool that he came around, and yeah, good to hear from him.
He did that live?
Oh
live
yeah. Oh no. He went away for like 2 days and then emailed me and was like, dude, like, you're right. What was I doing? And then came back on the channel to talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say, because it's hard for people live to admit that sometimes. But yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Just quick, another donation here. Sajani, thank you so much. She says, I don't know how you guys do it, keeping it cool and answering the same old questions as if they are being thrown at you for the first time. Thank you for doing what you do. And that's a great comment. I appreciate
That's how you got to
that.
think about it.
Yeah. And that goes for people who are here watching us in the audience. Like, you know, although we probably have heard your questions before, don't be scared to come and ask them, because look, we've all been there. We've asked the same questions as you. You know, that's why we're not being, you know, assholes. Well, not total assholes. Little bit asshole. Just a little bit. All right, should we bring someone in?
Yeah. Who do we have here? Gavin.
Are you bringing
in?
we
Wait.
Do...
It's
like
the priority, right?
The roles ones. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll do Hathers.
Hello. Despite my voice, I'm actually 21 years old.
Hello. Sorry, say that again.
Despite my voice, I'm actually 21.
All I'm hearing is the end of the sentence.
Yeah.
21.
Oh.
Could you maybe speak a bit slower? I don't know. There's something kind of strange sounding about the audio.
I'm a bit nervous at this. This is my first time being on here.
Oh, you're nervous. Okay. You know, it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't be nervous. It's all good. We're all chill here.
Shovel some divination cards. It typically calms me down.
Cool. So what do you have yeah, we can ask you a question. So the title of this is why aren't you vegan?
Animals don't vegan.
Yeah. You're not vegan, no?
I was a former vegetarian, but sort of swayed back because I sort of got lazy.
You go, oh, okay. Okay. Why did you what was the reason you were vegetarian before?
Just to lose weight.
Just as like a diet, just to like be healthier.
Mhm.
Right, right.
And I sort of do care about the animals too.
Do we care about animals?
No, I said
Oh.
I sort of do care about animals.
Oh, sorry, you started to get sorry, yeah. It's just the audio's like it's yeah. So yeah,
The audio is really hard to hear.
Just Mike.
yeah. So you started to care about animals, right? And so, but
It was also for a friend of mine who's also vegetarian. Her name is Sheila.
okay.
She's a total heart.
Nice. And so now you're eating meat and everything now, right?
Yeah.
Right, right.
Yeah. Sort of can't change that because I live in a group home and I sort of can't really change that unless I buy my own stuff with my money, which is rather limited.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, if you're in a situation where you don't really have control over what you eat, I mean, it's obviously it's very unfortunate, but in the meantime, I would just do the best you possibly can.
Okay.
With respect to eliminating animal products, and of course, over time, hopefully, you can get to a place where you're more independent and you can make these choices fully for yourself.
And it might be the case might be that you actually can afford it now. It just depends on what food is available in your area, what options there are. You might be surprised at what you can actually do because people think vegan food is expensive, but it's not. If you're buying the basics, if you're making your own food, it can be very cheap. Most people actually say their food bills go down when they start eating plant-based because they buy the basic staple foods and they make lots of meals from those basic foods, and it can be really cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know where in the what country do you live in?
The United States.
You're in the US, yeah. So yeah, you've got supermarkets and convenience stores, like big supermarkets there where I know they have lots of very cheap plant-based foods. So maybe with the right information you could make it work. What do you think if you could get the right information, do you think that's something you would try and do?
Yeah.
Cool. So I can send you the link I was talking about earlier. There's a website called challenge22.com.
You visited that.
Sorry?
I actually visited that.
Oh, good. Yeah, so you should definitely sign up to that. It's 100% free, and they will be able to give you advice based on how much money you have and based on what products are in your area, and they can help you really figure that out so you don't have to keep paying for animals to be killed and abused. Yeah, definitely.
I have an argument. Should you make your carnivorous animals eat vegan stuff?
It depends on the animal. Like for example, a lot of people think dogs are carnivorous. They're not. They are omnivorous. They can eat
Scavenging omnivores, actually.
Say again?
They're scavenging omnivores?
Yeah, they can be very healthy on a plant-based diet, dogs. So it's there's no need for them to eat meat. And with some animals, obviously, some animals don't have that option, unfortunately. So it's then they would have to feed them vegans. Some vegans have carnivorous animals, like, for example, I don't know, snakes, and they have to feed them meat. That's they don't have to, but they've chosen to take that animal into their care, and if they neglect them, then they either choose to neglect them or feed them. So it's a tough decision, but yeah, it's an unfortunate position some people find themselves in, between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also had a cat before I moved into this group home I'm in right now.
Oh, okay. You had a cat, yeah.
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 She was a total sweetheart and had a lot of upper respiratory issues.
Mm.
I think she still does.
Oh, okay.
So typically I'd feed her like wet food with her medicine, you know?
Right. Right. Yeah, I mean, there are some vegan cat foods available, plant-based cat foods, where they have all of the nutrition a cat needs, but there's definitely, you got to be vigilant. You know, if you were going to feed a cat with vegan cat food, you need to be very vigilant and make sure the cat is responding well, because some cats don't do so well, and then you'd have to go back to meat and traditional cat food. But lots of cats respond really well, and they are perfectly healthy with vegan cat food. So you just got to be very, very careful and sensible with that.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean,
I could send you a vegan cat food that's pretty I would say pretty complete.
Cool.
Nutritionally.
Yeah.
Maybe once I get back into the apartment with my cat, I'll try that to see if she responds well.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Oh, that's an adorable photo.
Oh, the cat they use on the site. Yeah, super cute.
Great. Do you have any more questions for us? Anything you want to ask?
No, not really.
Cool. Well, thanks for coming up, and yeah,
thank you.
I hope you sign up to Challenge 22 and give it a go. I think they will really help you.
Okay. See you later.
Bye bye.
May my goddess shine wisdom upon you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Interesting.
Super nice person. The mic was like really hard to.
It was. Yeah, the mic was really bad, but she sounded really nice. Yeah. We've got an interesting name here, the Black Bruce Wayne. You see that?
Oh yeah, let's bring him on.
Yeah, the Black Bruce Wayne. This guy's got no excuses if he really is the Black Bruce Wayne.
All the money in the world.
Exactly, like literally Batman.
Mm-hmm.
You coming in, dude? Bruce?
Batman definitely should be vegan. He has that no kill principle.
Exactly. That's a good point.
A lot of his.
That's a good point.
Not bad. I'm just listening to you guys for a long time.
Oh, cool, man. Good to meet you.
Hello.
Hi. Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
We hear you.
No, hold on.
Okay.
I have a little technical difficulties on my phone.
No worries.
Just call Alfred. He'll probably help you. I actually like Batman a lot.
You're a big fan of Batman?
Yeah, he's cool.
Yeah.
I like his concept.
What, the concept of being a rich, super fit martial artist, or what?
He wasn't all that privileged though, you know, parents. And...
Yeah, but I mean, you know, money can buy new parents, can't it?
Maybe. I don't know. I just like Batman, bro.
Yeah, no, I like Batman. Is he your favorite superhero?
Oh, the Hulk, absolutely.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Surprising.
He's been my since I was a kid.
Cool.
He'll take out anybody, bro.
I think mine's
his strength.
Mine's always been Spider-Man.
Oh, that's lame.
It's not lame at all.
Venom. The fact that his arch nemesis is Venom just makes Spider-Man inherently like trash.
Well, how does that work?
Venom's just so much cooler. Like the Hulk doesn't have an arch nemesis that is just a way better, cool version of him, but Spider-Man does.
Yeah, he
and it's
does.
Venom.
Thanos is basically that.
I don't know if that's his arch nemesis.
Okay,
I think that's the
right,
enemy of the Avengers, but
he's not. Yeah, okay, my bad.
Yeah.
Not an arch nemesis, but he is like a cooler, stronger version of the Hulk, basically. Okay, maybe not cooler.
Yeah,
no, I take back everything I said.
But his strength isn't tied to his emotional state though, and the Hulk's is so it could be, in theory, he's stronger than Thanos.
Yeah, that's true. But Spider-Man's awesome. I don't care about Venom. I'm sorry. You know,
Spider-Man's like one of those superheroes that like they're your favorite until you take like you turn 6, and then you're like, oh wait, there's like all these other ones that are just way better.
The Hulk
but he's
is
cool.
The Hulk is your favorite superhero because you're compensating for a low level of muscle mass, which is why you end up spending like so much time in the gym.
Exactly. I'm just trying to be the vegan Hulk, essentially.
There already is the vegan Hulk. He's on YouTube, the vegan Hulk, literally. Do you know that guy?
Oh really?
Yeah.
I think I've seen that channel around.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. I
Mhm.
think he is vegan Hulk, isn't he? I'm sure that's his name on YouTube. I'm trying to search it now. I forgot. I've not seen him around in a while. I used to see loads of videos from him, but I don't see him now. Anyway, who have we got?
What
Wait,
happened to Bruce Wayne?
The Black Bruce Wayne. I don't know. He said he had technical issues, and then it was gone.
All right. We'll
Which
invite
is-
Drex.
Yeah, go for it.
Yo, hello, do you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, what's up?
Hello, how are you guys doing, bro?
All good, man.
Pretty good.
I'm pretty good. All right, so I got a question about being vegan. If you're not a vegan, are you going to tell?
Say that one more time.
Yes, can you say that again?
If you're not a vegan, will you go to hell? Like that's what like a lot of vegan most people say.
Oh, go to hell. Oh my god, that's funny. That's
Actually, I'm dead ass.
No. Yeah, no, I don't doubt it that you've heard that, man. I just find it funny that a vegan would say that dumb shit. To be honest with you.
A lot. I
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah.
I don't know,
Very
dude.
weird,
Yeah,
bro.
sorry to be clear. He asked if you don't go vegan, if you'll go to hell.
If you don't go vegan,
Yeah,
will you
if
go
you're
to
not a
hell?
vegan, you go to hell. Yeah.
I mean, like,
mm.
if all right, okay, let's just assume for a second. I guess, do you believe in hell? Are you a religious person?
Yeah, I'm Christian Orthodox, sir.
Okay, fine. Okay, so then, all right, let's be serious then. So, if okay, so I'm not, by the way, I'm not Christian. I was raised like in a Christian not Christian household, but I was at a Christian school. I know the Bible. I studied the Bible, but I'm not a Christian. All right, just full transparency. I'm not a Christian. Okay, but so I can understand where you're coming from though, because of my upbringing and because of the school I was at. So, so if somebody was doing things that were like horrendous, like violent, and they knew they were doing it, they were paying for people to do it, they were funding a horrendous, violent industry that was torturing and killing animals, and they didn't need to, would that not be? I mean, if anything was going to put you in hell, do you not think that would be something that could potentially put you in hell? First of all, would you agree that if someone was doing that, potentially they could end up going to hell if they didn't repent?
Wait, doing what, sir? My fault.
So if someone is paying other people to cause animals suffering, death, and violence, but they didn't need to pay for it, and also the people doing the violence, they suffer too with PTSD, depression. If somebody was paying for all of that, they knew they were paying for all of that, and they didn't need to pay for all of that, and they didn't care. They were like, screw it, I don't care. I'm happy to pay for all of that, even though it's causing all this problems and suffering. Do you not think that that person could potentially end up going to hell if they didn't repent and change their ways?
To be honest, like I'm not Jesus, like I'm not God or anything. Like I do not know.
Me neither.
If like he'll go tell or not.
But potentially, is there a potential though? Is there, do you think maybe that could happen if they didn't say, if they didn't repent, if they didn't change their ways? Do you think maybe that could be something that influences the decision on whether they go to heaven or hell?
I don't really know, to be honest.
Me neither. But the point is,
yeah.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I was gonna say, like we're both not very like religious, like you said, but I would advise you to, if you go on Google and look up Christian arguments to go vegan. There's actually some Christian vegans that have went out of their way to interpret certain verses in the Bible that suggest that being vegan would be more ideal than not. I know your initial question was if not being vegan would make you go to hell. That is something that it's hard to really know for sure. But like what David was saying, if anything were to even like potentially increase your chances of going to hell, assuming hell exists and all these things, I would say funding animal agriculture might be one of those things. I mean, the level of atrocity and suffering that is generated by animal agriculture is so is such that I mean I think an all loving and good God would say that that's something you
Yeah.
shouldn't support. But again, I'm not educated in this. I could just be talking out of my ass. But
I don't think
it
anyone
just
is
seems
though.
like
None of us are
Yeah.
educated in this because no one actually knows, right? This is the point. No one actually knows what magic button sends you to after you die. If I'm talking completely, if you are a Christian, no one really 100% knows what's going to get you in hell for sure. But we know if you do bad things, you're probably going to end up there, right? And if you hurt other people, you might end up there. If you hurt animals and cause violence to them for no reason, I mean, maybe you're going to end up there. It's a bad thing. You're doing bad things, right? So I guess that's what some vegans maybe have kind of tried to be more dramatic and say you're going to go to hell, but it's not necessarily that simple. But why not just be good to animals and do it for the animals, right? Not because you're scared of going to hell, but because you don't want to hurt animals. That's why people are vegan.
Yeah, but can I ask you a question? One more question, sir.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to be a vegan. Like, what kind of it's hard for me to say because sometimes I stir, but like I'm trying to sorry, my fault, my fault. Sorry, I'm trying to be a vegan. What kind of food I have to eat or
something?
I don't. You're trying to eat vegan food?
Yeah.
No, yeah, I'm trying to be a vegan.
Vegan, yeah.
A vegan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vagin.
I mean, there's only one kind of food you can eat if you're trying to be that.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Pretty straightforward question.
Yeah, I think the answer.
My friends are they say that they're vegan, and I'm always wondering what does it really mean, and it sounds pretty for me it sounded pretty cool, so I was like, maybe I should be one of them,
You already sound like a vagin, to be honest.
Oh, I sound like a virgin, excuse me?
Vagin, no, like a vegan.
Oh, okay. All right.
Wait, so the initial question about hell, that was all I mean?
I think one more question. This is gonna be a weird question, but I'm homosexual, so if I suck a man's dick, will I go to will that count as never mind.
Yeah.
I was tempted to just kick him out straight away, but I was like, well, he's already said it now, so fuck it.
Pretty good troll. Listen, I've always said this to people that I used to be a big troll when I was a kid, so there's a part of me that appreciates good trolling to an extent, but that was okay. That's pretty good.
I mean, it wasn't. Some vegans do say you'll go to hell, and just to elaborate on that a little bit more, but considering he was actually a troll, and I'm not that bothered about offending him now, guys, hell doesn't exist. Yeah, just get the fuck past this idea that there's some sky daddy that's going to decide whether you fucking go to hell or not. It's not like that. All right, you're going to be okay, but just don't do horrible shit because you're not a horrible person, not because you're scared of hell. There we go.
Yeah.
Just
when religion gets brought up, I want to always just be like, let's talk about hell to begin with, and whether or not there's a good argument that it even exists. But
yeah. Do I watched a good video earlier.
People.
I watched a good video earlier. It's going to piss a lot of people off. And it was actually by Cosmic Skeptic. And he was talking about the number one problem with Christianity. And it's really interesting. Have you seen it? He says the biggest problem with Christianity is the video title.
I've seen the video on my feed. I actually watch a lot of Cosmic, but I probably didn't click that one.
It's pretty sweet. So basically, summarized, he says the biggest problem with Christianity, and actually all religions, but this one is specifically the biggest problem with Christianity, is animal suffering, right? And the reason that it's the biggest problem is that it is so extensive and so brutal that it doesn't make sense for it to be designed this way. So, for example, people will say, yeah, it's the ecosystem, though. It's the circle of life or whatever it is. There's a food chain, right? Okay, so the way that a deer will die is by they're so big. Some of these animals are so big, right, in the wild, that a lion or a tiger can't kill them instantly, right? because they're too big. So like a buffalo, for example. So how do they kill them? They clamp the throat and suffocate them, and it can take several minutes. So while this is happening, other lions and tigers will be eating their body while they are alive. There are some animals that will eat other animals from the bottom up. There are animals that will disembowel and go for the stomach first. What creator who could choose to create everything in one way or another, why in holy hell would they choose to create that, the ecosystem like that? That these are the rules of our ecosystem now, for sure, but why would a creator create the ecosystem like that instead if they could choose not to? They set the rules, and that
especially
was,
when
the video.
God is he's all knowing.
Yeah.
So he knew that if he made it this way, this would happen. He's all good,
Exactly.
which kind of contradicts creating it in the first place. And then he's all powerful, meaning he has the power to create something different. So,
yeah, it's insane.
I think the humans, because I believe religion was basically man-made, but I think whoever wrote religion down and all these things, they did a bad job of saying that God is omnipowerful, or fully good and omniscient, or what's the word? All-knowing, whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, because it's like you find so many different contradictions within the Bible like this, but
yeah, it just doesn't.
They shouldn't have said that. Like,
And the
all
thing is,
powerful.
Exactly. Yeah. It doesn't make sense. And even if you believe it, there's no. But just to clarify, there's no like prerequisite that you don't, to be vegan, you have to be this religion or that religion or no religion or anything like that. There are vegan Christians, vegan Muslims, vegan Jewish people. Like you're Jewish, right, Danny?
Yeah,
not
ethnically.
But not like
Jewish,
okay, fine. Yeah, right. Okay, cool. But anyway, the point, there are people practicing Jewish people who are also vegan, and there's like vegans in practically every religion on earth. So it's not like you have to agree with me or Danny on this. So,
yeah.
But yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Veganism's not like, it's not incompatible with these religions. You can be vegan and remain practicing in this.
Exactly. Someone even in the chat on YouTube saying I'm a vegan Muslim. It's okay for. It's not wrong to believe in these things. I'm not saying that for a second. That you can believe whatever you want to believe as long as it doesn't cause anyone else any harm. That's you do
Yeah,
you.
Yeah, I used to be, when I was a kid, I used to be a lot more like militantly atheist. But as I've grown, it's more like you can believe what you want so long as your beliefs don't generate any harm towards others or cause you to hurt others.
Yeah. But if you're going to try and use the concept of like a god to justify abusing animals, that's when I'm going to, chat shit about your Sky Daddy, because I think that's ridiculous.
Like Gideon.
Yeah, like Gideon. Yeah, who was like, he was
Gideon.
He was all right. I didn't want to
actually. I have a video coming out addressing him.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yeah, but damn, I was saying Gideon, not Gideon. Is Gideon the pronunciation?
It doesn't matter. Yeah, Gideon, because it's like his real name is Jadon, and it's just add the I and it's Gideon. But yeah, I guess we went into a religious thing now, and lots of people are upset. I see some people in the YouTube chat very upset. Oof. But yeah, we can get. That's a separate debate.
Controversial stuff.
Controversial. Well, it shouldn't be controversial these days, really. I mean. Religion shouldn't have its own category of like not being allowed to be questioned. It should be questioned just like anything should be questioned. And if you shouldn't get offended if someone makes fun of it. You should just be like, yeah, well, I don't agree, and there's no need to get getting offended over religion has caused a lot of problems, guys. Like maybe stop doing that and stop causing fights and wars over it. I think we're at a point now where it's time to just accept that people have different opinions, okay? And get over it.
But before we go on, someone asked you if one is atheist, doesn't one have the burden of proof to prove that God doesn't exist? I would just say that, I mean, you're an agnostic. You're not like an atheist who believes that it is false that God exists. You just say you don't know that
for me,
God exists, right?
I know. Yeah. I feel like I know for a fact that none of the way that the way that religions are scripted out in Bibles and other books and blah 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 and all that, I feel like I'm pretty certain that the gods depicted in those ways don't exist. But that doesn't mean I don't think there is a God that exists. I think there could be, and I think that people have made their own interpretations. And that's when you read the Bible, you're reading people's interpretations of what they think. You're not reading some kind of, you're not reading a holy book as much as people like to believe it is. I don't believe that you're reading a holy book. You're reading a book that was written over hundreds and hundreds of years by multiple people who inputted their own influence into it. I don't believe. I firmly believe that is not it, right? But I'm agnostic to the idea that there is something or someone, because kind of open to it. But so far, no one's. Yeah, no man-made explanation of that has appealed to me enough to say, oh, that's me now.
Yeah, it's a hard thing to prove. So Black Bruce Wayne is back. Do we want to like give him priority?
Yeah.
Or
go for it. Yeah, he's back. So let's pull him in.
What's up, man?
Hey.
What's up?
You hear me now?
Yeah. Can you hear us?
What is going on? Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. Okay. He's back in the waiting room.
I think he's having some technical issues.
All right, we'll bring in Dreddy, and then we can.
Yeah, we'll just see what.
Hopefully, he figures it out by then.
Yeah. Dreddy, what's up?
Hello, guys.
Hey.
Sorry, so I'm trying to go vegan, but I need somebody to explain to me the process. What should I eat? What should I do?
Cool, man.
Like, I mostly want like somebody to teach me.
Yeah.
Because I don't really understand about going vegan and stuff.
Well, you should challenge 22, right? I mean,
yeah,
we
I'd
just
say.
send him that.
Well, what just curious, just what's got you interested? Like, what's made you want to go vegan?
I just feel bad when I watch these animals when you cut their heads and stuff.
Yeah.
It really hurts me.
Did
it's
you
just like
watch?
somebody's cutting my head.
I get that, man. Did you watch like a documentary or something recently?
No, I just joined and I'm just trying to learn about going vegan.
That's cool, man. So there is a website.
Can you give me some advices and tips, please?
Yeah, man. There's a website that you can get a 100% like free vegan starter kit from, and it's like a full support system. They've got like a full community there, and they're all like volunteers, qualified volunteers. Some people with like actual nutritional qualifications as well, which is pretty cool. And it's called challenge22.com. That's like the word challenge, 22 as in the number, like you could 22.com. That is the one-stop shop for everything you need to know. But if you have any like specific questions now, like if there's anything like
I kind of had some questions.
Sure.
What do you think I should? You already told me about the site.
Yeah.
So specifically, while you were talking to Drex Beast lately, he said something about religion. I kind of heard the same thing too from some of my people.
Right.
Like my family people around me.
What did they said?
Exactly. Yeah. What did they say?
They said the same thing.
Like what was that exactly?
About going vegan. You'll just go to hell.
If you go vegan?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Oh,
They said if you go vegan, you'll go to hell because animals are made to eat. God made animals to eat.
Okay. Well, okay. So just to be clear, because the other person was actually saying the opposite. They were saying that they've been told that if they don't go vegan, they'll go to hell. But so you're telling us now that you've been told that if you do go vegan, you'll go to hell.
Yeah, because they told me.
Okay.
I said it's kind of this. I don't understand. I didn't understand him that good because he was trying to joke. Like later
that guy
on,
was messing around.
I
Man.
wasn't trying to give him attention because I was playing. I was listening to you guys, but they told me if I go vegan and I don't eat food, I'm going to hell.
Thing is,
because
man, right?
animals are made to be eaten.
The thing is, right? Check this out, right? So, if let's break this down. So, if you would go to hell by choosing to eat things that don't come from animals, so you're choosing to get your nutrition from places that don't involve shooting animals in the head, slitting their throats, forcing them to get pregnant. You're choosing to not do that. And that would make you a bad person. That would put you in hell with the worst people on the planet. How that doesn't make any sense, right? You know what I mean?
Listen, at the same time, you're not a bad person if you're killing animals because they're made for something. I don't want to kill them personally, but I feel like we shouldn't do that, right? So I don't think in any type of whatever Bible, Quran, whatever it's called, there's nothing that says about animals if you kill them you're a bad person. So this is what I'm pointing out of you on you guys. I never read it that type of stuff. You're not a bad person if you kill animals.
Yeah.
I mean, you
So
would.
I
Yeah,
just
go
want to
on.
say to the first thing about how you were told that you would go to hell if you were vegan. I just want to say
Yeah.
that you would just have to ask him where in the Bible it implies that if you don't eat animals that you'll go to
I
hell. I'm pretty sure that nowhere you can even
Yeah, but
interpret that.
nowhere in the Bible I've seen that if you kill animals,
Yeah. I
you're
want to
going
get to
to
that.
hell. You're a bad person.
Yeah, I want to get to that. So the thing with appealing to religion to justify mistreatment and say like, oh, like my religion doesn't say that it's wrong, so therefore it's not wrong. I mean, if you're going to accept religion as a justification for mistreatment, then there could be a religion that says that there's no issue with, I don't know, killing infants or something, and you would have to accept that that's okay in the same way that you're accepting that it's okay to kill animals because your religion doesn't say that it's wrong. Like it's the same argument is being used for a different religion. That's why I don't like to rely on religion for morality, and I think many people shouldn't, because to do so is to
Yeah, I understand.
indirectly accept other
You don't
people
want to
to
hold on religion. You're just
yeah
talking about your
yeah.
opinion. It's so you're saying it's the same thing that people wrote the Bible over years. It's just like modified. So you're modifying about that. You're not a bad person if you kill animals. You just, in my opinion, you shouldn't just do that. If you feel bad for them, not if you're a bad person. You can be the best person in the world, but you can kill animals. That's for survival.
Yeah, I mean, it would depend on what your moral system is, I guess, if we're not going to talk about what your religion says. And I would also say that killing out of survival, where you're like on a stranded island, is a bit different from what me and David here are asking people to do, because we're targeting people that have the actual physical ability to become vegan. You know what I mean? So
Let me point
yeah.
this out real quick. I was in the
Mhm.
stage 2 earlier too, and I heard the
Mhm.
guy that you can actually quite kill animals if you're about. This is so funny because I think you guys are literally lying right now. These people. Listen, I'm not talking about most of you guys, but to be honest, the other guy literally said you can kill animals if you're in a survival situation. He said it's fine. You have to do that, and I want your opinion about that.
Why would he be lying by saying that? Like,
I
why?
don't know. I just joined the server.
Oh.
I heard you guys. I heard
Yeah.
the other guy, and I heard you guys. So you guys have another opinion, and they have another opinion. So I think like we're just getting lied right now.
I agree with that though. But
Yeah.
if you,
I want some true opinions, tips. I want you guys
Well,
to teach us the true things and not lie. You
I
guys
mean,
should have the same arguments, the same opinion. If you guys
well,
have,
listen,
if
vegans.
somebody here is gonna say me that you cannot kill them, and the other guys can just tell me you can kill them, like I feel like I'm being brainwashed and lied.
It's just different people have different opinions, mate. That's all that is. If someone says I wouldn't kill, some people would say I would never kill an animal even if I needed to survive. Another person may say, well, actually, I would kill to survive, but neither of them is killing animals now because neither of them is in a survival situation. So it doesn't matter what they would do in a survival situation because you're not in a survival situation, neither am I. So it's not even there's
Well,
not even a
it
point
may
to even
happen
discussing it.
to be one.
Sorry?
It may happen to be one. They of
Right.
course are gonna
And if
kill
you're in
animals.
one, you decide what you think is best. Do you want to survive or do you want to die? If the only way you can survive is
Well,
to
the
kill,
way you
then you
guys are
choose that.
talking, when I'm in one, my brain is gonna say yes or
So
no,
then you do what you need to
because the
do in
other
that
guy
situation.
said yes and the other
Yeah,
guy
sure.
said no.
Yeah, but it's not this. The chances of you actually ended up in some kind of situation like that is extremely slim. 98% of your life is not going to be in that situation. So why are we talking about the potential 2% that you might end up in? You know, it's not where we should be focusing on.
But I really got another question.
Go.
So
Hey, before
animals.
this question, I just want to also
Alright.
address the lying thing real quick. I would also say that
Well, I'm
because
not accusing
to
you guys, but I'm saying you guys have other opinions, and I feel like I'm not understanding you guys because I'm
yeah.
just.
No, yeah, I
It's
understand that it can be
complicated. It's
confusing because
complicated,
one
to be
vegan
honest.
says something and then another vegan says something that
Yeah.
conflicts with what the other vegan says. But that doesn't mean that anyone's lying. It just means they're two different people with two different opinions.
Well, I didn't say you guys are lying. I said I kind of feel like I'm getting lied because I don't
Okay,
understand this.
I
Right.
understand. Okay,
So
so
don't
what
get
was
that
it?
personally.
Yeah, no worries.
So
What's the
other
second question?
other animals are killing, like animals are killing each other to survive, right?
Yeah.
Why should we go vegan when animals are eating each other?
Yeah, so this
So
is
so we should be
yeah.
like sorry about animals, but animals don't gotta be sorry for themselves.
Yeah,
It's a part of the life.
yeah. So animals do a lot of horrific things, including they rape each other, they kill their infants.
Yeah,
So
it's
I would
same as
just
humans. Same as
yeah.
humans,
So I would say
right?
yeah, perfect. So I would ask you, do you think that humans killing infants is justified because other animals kill their infants?
Well, it's a part of life.
I know it's a
Right.
part of life, but I'm asking you in your view, do you think that it's right for humans to kill their infants because lions kill their infants?
Yeah.
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 You think
But that,
humans killing their infants is
what
justified?
I heard at stage 2,
Okay.
yeah.
No, we're
Wait,
not
hold on.
asking
So
what you heard on stage 2. We're asking what you think.
before we talk about animal rights, I think we should talk about human rights because if you think that humans killing their
Yeah,
kids is
that's what I
justified, then how
pointed
could I
out at stage 2 when I was talking.
wait?
I said, so we're
Okay.
just talking about animals. Why don't we talk about humans?
I mean, listen. The way that I do my activism is when someone starts to say something like a human mom killing their baby is justified. I immediately stop talking about animal rights because if you don't think that humans should have rights, then we should talk about that first. Because I'm probably gonna have a hard time getting you to think animals should have rights if you don't think humans should have rights. So, I mean, do you really think that a mom
No,
killing their kid? What?
let me tell you
Yeah.
something.
Okay, sure.
So nature didn't give humans right, animals right. In nature, you don't have rights. It's just survival. It's a wildlife, right?
Yes.
So you think humans have rights and animals don't have rights? We all have rights, right?
I agree.
Yeah.
They all have
But
rights. Yeah.
but if an animal kills a human can kill an animal too.
In self-defense,
Point.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, in
Yeah.
self-defense,
Point
yes. But
is,
we're
it's self-defense. You can't call that self-defense because a lion can kill you, so they can feed up themselves.
the behavior of non-moral agents in nature killing other animals to justify killing animals ourselves. But the reasoning is is bad is because animals also commit rape. They kill their infants, but
We
we don't
commit
use
rape
those
too.
actions as justification. Yeah, and we're not saying that it's right for us to do so because they do so. You understand?
Yeah,
It's just
but this
that's
is
just
the
bad
cycle
reasoning.
of life. This is nature.
Oh, this guy is just fucking around, man. I'm getting him out of here. He's
I
an
think he's
idiot.
trolling. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think he's trolling.
Yeah.
He kind of reminded me of Sparrow a little bit.
Yeah, it's just
the nature thing.
Just a fucking tool, man.
This is nature.
I had an internet dropout, which is why I just jumped out, and I've got limited patience now for morons like
Nah,
that.
bro,
so.
you quit. You quit because you didn't have an argument to nature though.
Oh, a complete tool, man. Fucking hell. What was his like? I can't. You got him to bite the bullet. It'll make a good clip though, won't it? At least getting him to bite the bullet on like, oh, it's okay for humans to kill their infants. That's always good fun. It's a nice clip to have, isn't it? Have that nice and ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I got whenever I get people to bite the crazy bullets, it's always exciting. In some sense, because it's like
always good fun. I just want to quickly say thank you to Carnist Deterioration, who made a $5 donation. Thank you. It says, do you or Danny feel that applying Aristotelian ethics, particularly cardinal virtues, prudence, justice, courage, and temperance, could be useful for vegan activism if applied to veganism? Carnist Deterioration, that's an interesting question. To be completely honest with you, I can't answer you that. I can't claim to know enough about what you're asking about, so I'm sorry I can't answer it. Maybe Danny could answer it, but maybe now isn't the time to answer it, unfortunately. So
yeah, can you read it? Whatever, we'll answer.
I don't think we can do that. But listen, Carnage Deterioration, if you have another question because you have donated, please just put the other question in the live chat, something that's more relevant to what we're doing now and more simple, please, so that we can get into it. and I'll definitely respond to it. All right. So sorry we can't get into that.
I'm still laughing about the last guy.
Yeah.
not the question.
Yeah.
The confidence was through the roof.
He's just a fucking, I don't know, man. I've got nothing nice to say about him, so I won't say anything. So should we check out saltuponwounds.com or should we try Black Bruce Wayne again?
we can try Bruce.
It's
we'll just keep trying him until,
Dude, has Alfred fixed your connection now, or?
Hey, what's going on?
Oh shit, it's working. Yeah.
What's up?
Cool, man. What's up?
Hey, what's up, man? Sorry about that. I just feel like an idiot. I've been trying to fucking play with this damn audio thing.
The bat cave is
the signal, man. The signal, dude. Look, I have both sides of the friends. I got friends that are vegan from a long time, and I got friends that aren't. I eat kind of kosher. No, I'm not kind of. I am kosher. I eat kosher, faith-wise. So I'm not going to be a troll like the other idiot that was, because I always like listening to points of views that are different than mine. I like to, dive into where I know I'm going to have, differences of opinions, obviously, which is cool with me, because that's how we learn. Culture is we exchange cultures and exchange ideas. That's the marketplace. But I've always wondered, the only thing I don't, that I've heard about these conversations, the only thing that bothers me a little bit, I'm not saying you guys because I don't like doing generalizations.
Sure.
But certain vegans about the elitism about it, like, the moral grandstanding, like, because I don't do it, now I'm an evil person, not understanding there's cultural differences, there's cultural differences, there's racial differences. Look, I'm Black, Jewish, and Cuban. And there's a cultural thing. I can never convince nobody in my family. And I won't do it either. But I have tried veganism for a while. Then I had to go to the doctor for it. Because there's also, just like anything, there's extremism to your diet too. I'm not trying to say don't do it because you look pretty. What's the guy's name over here with the lifting vegan?
Lifting.
So you look pretty legit. You look pretty legit hitting the, getting gains. That's good. I've heard how the benefits of eating vegan. A lot of vegans that eat processed food too. And a lot of their diets, a lot of the marketplaces, when you go out to look for shopping for vegan foods, unless you're doing raw diet, I'm here like rambling too. You're probably wondering when am I going to ask a question? Like, dude. But
okay.
But I was going to ask, because I was hearing about the argument about, because about saving lives, about animal rights. But aren't we as well animals as well? In a sense, humans are a type of animal.
Yeah, that's true. First of all, just to go from your first point, you were saying there's this the moral...
Oh, yeah, I was rambling so much. Go ahead, guys.
I just wanted to mention something, about the kind of morality you're saying, like, vegans being like the moral. I don't know if you use the words moral grandstanding, but I suppose that can
be. So I don't want to like generalizing. I'm not saying everybody. It's just a couple of the extremes that I've caught.
The thing is, though, man, like it is. I mean, people who aren't vegan are evil, though. So I mean. It's a joke. It's a joke. Look, but
I was about to say, I was ready.
What the hell just happened? These guys seemed really reasonable, and he's just told me I'm evil.
Go ahead.
No, but
go ahead.
No, dude, there's so much to what you said, and so much to think about and kind of pick apart, and
go ahead. I'm always open here. So that's the point of these conversations.
Yeah. Firstly, you said you were eating plant-based, and you went. Let's just dive into that. What happened? You ended up in a doctor's or something. What was that?
It just didn't do good. Like for some reason, stomach issues, just health blood work.
But
that was
what exactly? What
that was I was trying to go I went to go see a nutritionist about it after not doing so well, going to the doctor, had low iron count.
Right.
It was just, that was mostly the bigger problem. It was not lacking the correct iron.
Yeah.
And of course, yes, you might rebuttal, tell me there's certain plants, which I know there's plants that could, that have all sorts of nutrients, iron, protein, you can gain from all sorts of plants, and that is understandably correct. Not arguing against the vegan diet is not a good thing.
I just want to know, like, when you were eating,
go ahead.
When you were eating that way, did you just go for it by yourself, or did you have resources to find out what to eat, or were you just going for it?
Okay. At first, I just wanted to do the challenge. I was hitting the gym. I do a lot of, like workouts with certain dudes, MMA type of dudes. There's a gym, MMA gym, like a Gracie gym, right by where I live by.
Right.
And there was this dude that does jiu-jitsu was doing. I was like, let me give it a try. He looks pretty legit.
Yeah.
I want to try any methods to gain advantage, anything to do with my body.
Yeah.
And he had results, and I realized it just didn't work for me.
What do you think?
Could be doing it completely wrong.
Danny,
I've always believed in a balance in life. I've always believed we're omnivores anyways. I believe you got to eat both.
Danny is like qualified in this kind of stuff. So like, I'm wondering.
Yeah,
Danny,
I figured he was when I saw his picture.
Yeah, I'm wondering that how do you, Danny, if you were to make an educated guess at how someone ends up with like problems like that, what would you say?
Well, before I answer that, I heard you mention raw before. Were you doing anything raw?
Oh yeah. I was saying, I've always had this belief. This is me, and I always believe unless you're not doing raw veggie diets or not, eating more vegetables. Because I've seen a lot of vegans, friends, and other people I've seen always eat like a lot of processed foods as well.
Yeah, were you doing a raw vegan diet?
I balanced it out. I had raw, a lot of boiling. I guess you want to consider that raw. But yeah, I wasn't eating a lot of processed, going, like what you see the brands like the Gardeins or the different vegan brands that exist. Like I said, I'm not well versed in the different brands because it's not my.
Yeah, were you consuming a calorie surplus or like maintenance calories?
I was maintaining my calories. Yeah, I was working out, trying to be under a certain amount of calories. It was to lose.
Oh, you're trying to lose. Okay. And were you supplementing at all?
Mostly like Centrums. Let me see what else. Protein powders.
Were you taking B12, D3, like anything like that?
No. Just protein and just like a lot of Centrum. A lot of, like Centrum for guys. That's it. And whatever foods I was eating that day, whatever be spinach, broccoli, carrots.
Yeah.
What else? A lot of cucumbers.
So you did say before that you were trying to lose weight, so you were in a calorie deficit.
Yeah. But this is a long time ago now. Now I'm doing good. Now I do an omnivore diet.
Right.
I said, this is the argument. I'm sorry, we're like rambling, but it's
okay.
I know you guys. I've been in the chat too. A lot of weird extremists there too. Yeah, I don't like a lot of that vibe. But
yeah.
But you guys seem a lot more chill. That's why I was like, yeah.
Yeah, no worries. I just want to say, like, if you give it another try, I would just recommend doing it where you're more so eating at maintenance, especially if you're physically active, and have a more well-balanced diet. I wouldn't even consider the whole like raw thing, even like half, like just have like a more well-balanced diet where you eat fruits and vegetables and whole grains and nuts and seeds.
I've always said I do that even right now, but I still supplement that with, like I said, kosher. It's a faith thing. I'm Jewish, so I eat kosher a lot. I don't eat.
I got you.
I don't eat pork. I don't eat certain animals, but I do still eat
Jewish
lamb
too,
and lamb. Are you cool?
Yeah, I mean,
it's interesting. So what do you eat? You probably see it's a little bit more. I've noticed I could probably do it if I wanted to. I just don't.
Well, like, so I'm ethnically Jewish. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, I'm ethnically, but yeah, I mean, just a side note, I would say the reason veganism is also cool for Jewish people is because it can allow you to have like cheeseburgers that are made from plants and pepperoni pizza where the pepperoni isn't derived from pig but instead like soy or something.
Can I ask one question? Sorry, I know this is a healthy.
That's okay. Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I'm not even trying to try. Like I keep hearing a lot of that about the killing of animals or why it's not ethically correct and how morality, even though I've always thought morality is subjective, it's always going to be, unless you're a freaking psychopath and, you enjoy that type of, behavior. And even the whole killing the infants thing, I get it, but I felt like I was a little straw mannish. but I get what guys are trying to do.
Yeah.
But I think at the end, it's good. You're not going to convince no one. I'm not going to convince a vegan to eat some meat. You're not going to convince someone. You know, these are just us shooting the breeze, at least trying to understand each other. You know, that's why I jump on this channel. I mean,
yeah, I mean, I personally convinced a lot of people to go vegan through dialogue.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's dumb.
Yeah,
You're not going to do that a lot, but I respect that you got some. I'm just saying there's nothing wrong with that.
I would say a lot, actually. I mean, obviously it depends how many times you go for it. I mean, like doing
unless you can actually really count and see them in their diet. I mean, I get it. I'm not trying to like deny you have just some good work.
Yeah, I just want to so I guess the point of morality is subjective, and I don't think you can hold
extremely subjective.
Yeah, but you can hold that view, and so okay, so say if you base your morality on, for example, the most selfish kind of way of seeing the world. The most selfish way of seeing the world that I've heard of is the egoism, where you base whatever your morality is based on whatever brings you benefits, right? This is like egoism.
Right.
And it's based on
we all do that as human beings.
Your personal, yeah, it's based on your personal values, right? If that's you, then clearly you're somebody. I would assume part of your personal value is that you don't want to hurt animals. Like that would be like a value. You wouldn't go out and kick a dog because it's part of your personal value that you don't agree that is a good thing. So I would assume that's where you're at, right?
Not a psychopath.
Yeah, exactly. You're not a psychopath.
Only psychopath would enjoy that.
Basically, yeah.
Go ahead.
So even though
I know the line of questioning you're gonna go.
Well, it's even though the point I'm making is that even though morality is subjective, which I can understand that, I don't know if I agree with it completely, but I get the argument that it is, and I kind of do agree with it to some extent. Like I think anyway, but that's just beside the point. The point is,
go ahead,
most people's subjective morality includes that they don't want to harm animals. So then when they are harming animals, and it's proven that they are harming animals, then by their own subjective morality, even though it is subjective, they're going against their own values. So that doesn't make
we do that
sense,
constantly in everything we do, my brother. Everything we do is we're constantly harming each other. Even the fact that we have homes and cars.
Hold up though. But that's like that's an appeal to futility though. Then you're just saying nothing matters, so why bother?
No, I'm not saying nothing matters, but
sure, but that's kind of the reductio of it, isn't it? Like
we're all going to be hypocrites to our own philosophies, my man. We're always contradicting
that's
each
an
other.
appeal to
ourselves.
futility, though, dude. That's like saying no matter what we do, we're going to cause harm. We're going to go against our values. So what's the point trying to adhere to our own values? You know what I mean?
You're doing it yourself. We have phones, we have cars, we have homes, we have pets. We all do that. We all resource gather, destroy habitats, ecosystems.
So then why? So why does that mean that then it's okay to go and
I'm not trying
kill
to
animals
say I'm
for a
not
burger?
like we'd all have to stop reproducing, and sadly, we take resources. I'm not trying to say go out there and hurt. It's just us living ourselves, gathering. We're doing it no matter what we do.
Yeah,
but I'm not saying
but by this logic,
for like a chihuahua, come here.
Yeah, sure, but by this logic, anything is justifiable then. Anything, because we're all against our own morals. At the end of the day, we're all hypocrites. So just do anything you want. But then that's not how we operate. That's not a good way to operate. That's what I'm saying. That's futility. That's saying it's futile to even try, but that's not true. We can try, and we try. And be better.
This is why we respect and understand different ideologies and respect each other's different moralities, morals.
But
and
your morality
morals is not the same.
Dude, your morality is the same as my morality. We don't have different morality. We both are against hurting animals for unnecessary reasons, I would hope. So,
but you're against the fact that nobody has the right to eat because
that's not true. I'm not against that. Some people have no choice.
Okay,
they have to do
fine.
it. But you have a choice.
That's awesome.
You have a choice, though. We agree that it's immoral to hurt animals. We share the subjective morality that that's wrong if we don't need to do it. But you choose to do it anyway, and I choose not to. That's the only difference.
Do you drive?
Do I drive? No, I know how to drive. Yeah, yeah.
But you drive though.
Oil. When I have a car, I don't have a car currently. But
I'm trying to say, then you're like, why have a car then? You're destroying, you're killing animals. So we're gathering that oil. We're destroying habitats. We're destroying ecosystems.
Yeah, sure. But if there's oil being gathered, the purpose of gathering oil is not to kill animals, but the purpose of a burger. Sorry, can I finish this? Yeah. Oil can be gathered without killing animals. Unfortunately, there's lots of things that we contribute to that people kill animals for. but they don't have to. That's the system that they are operating in, which is wrong, and obviously we can try and change. But when you go and buy meat, the only way that meat gets there is by killing an animal. That's the only way it gets there. You are literally paying for that to happen directly. It's not like it happened but you didn't want it to. It happened because you literally funded it. When I drive a car, there's no guarantee that killed an animal. But if it did happen, that was not my intention. And if it did happen, then that's still wrong and bad. But that's not a given. That's not like a confirmed thing that's going to happen every time I drive a car, right? So, of course, I agree with you though. We should all try to avoid driving. I'm with you, but it's not comparable in this framing.
I'm just saying, at the end of the day, it's okay if you don't want to eat meat. You just don't have to grandstand and,
I just want to say, Bruce, that like when you imply that a vegan is a hypocrite for something.
I didn't say everybody. What did I say? I said I don't want to generalize. There's some true. There's some.
Generally, what you're doing when you try to imply that here David is a hypocrite for driving or whatever, it implies that you understand his ethical system to such a degree. It implies that the degree of harm and also good, like the harm of the degree of utility and disutility that come from him driving is equal to that of what he doesn't support through animal agriculture. So I just want to say that you haven't even taken the time to understand his, like, what he actually thinks ethically. And there's a chance that things like, for example, driving could bring about a degree of a net positive in utility that actually makes it okay. Like, morality is very complex, and to just assume that the level of suffering caused by eating animals is the same as the level of suffering caused by driving, that's just to me, it's a very reductionist way to view it. And we'd have to like have a huge conversation about like the utility gain from this and that. But I would just say that I agree with you that morality is subjective, but we can see within people's own subjective morals whether or not they ought to be vegan. So like I would just love to ask you a series of questions, if you don't mind, to see if we can get
man, that's what I'm here for, man. I'm here to listen to different ideas.
Sure. So presumably, if we were to replace all the animals that are currently being farmed for meat and all these things with humans, you would have an issue with that, correct?
Oh, sorry. Let's say that again, because it cut off at that last few sentences. I mean, a few words.
That's okay. Presumably, if we were to replace all the animals that we're currently farming for meat and dairy and eggs with humans, so let's say we were doing all those things to humans instead, you would have an issue with that, correct?
Yeah, of course.
Right.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and you don't have an issue with this happening with animals currently.
That's a good question. Even though I say that's what they're meant to be there for us, but you're gonna say that they're being immoral to kill them, which it is to just go out there violently kill. But
I would say, if you're saying they're bred to be made into food, I would just say, okay, so what if we bred humans?
No, I'm thinking out loud. I didn't say. Sorry, I'm thinking out loud in my head. This is me working out your question in my head.
No worries.
Sorry. I think out loud. It's not necessarily. I can hear your point of view. Like I understand that view. I've heard it in different discussions and different debates, because I enjoy this conversation a lot. The differences between vegans, and I just have always believed that, I'm an animal as well. Humans are a type of animal. It is our genetic nature that we're gonna eat. Some of us will eat flesh, some won't. Some will be omnivores, some will be vegans, some will be carnivores, some will go to how they're gonna go. My job is not to change.
I want to keep this like relatively simple.
Yeah, no,
I don't want to go into like all these different directions.
Go ahead.
So you said that you'd have an issue with us doing what we do to animals to humans, and then I just want to know yes or no.
Type of animal as well, so it's hard to.
Okay, non-human animals. What we're doing to non-human animals, if we were to do that to humans,
would you be okay if they were genetically made, like created, like there's like if the flesh was imitation? Like
so I want to answer that, but like
go ahead.
I want to just continue this series first, and then we can move on.
All right, go ahead. Fine. I'll play it. Go ahead. Sorry.
So if we did what we do to non-human animals to humans for food, you would have an issue with that. You said yes.
Whatever animals too. It depends. It's very depends.
Okay.
But let's just say no, I guess,
what
to answer your question and move on. Because I want to hear the rest of this series.
Right. So you say that if we did what we do to non-human animals to humans for food, you'd have an issue. So now I'm going to ask you, do you have an issue with what we're doing?
Because it depends. There's a lot of factors to that too. A lot, brother. There's a lot of different factors.
Can I just interject?
Regions, areas,
sorry,
cultures.
Let me make this
sorry, guys. 1 second. Could I interject here? It's not going to go anywhere if you keep interrupting each other, and it's extremely frustrating. I'm happy to sit here.
You can
check
that tone yelling at me like that too, my dude. I'm just trying to have a conversation as well.
But you're not. You're trying. You're constantly talking over him, and it's like you need to let each other finish a sentence, and otherwise it's going to keep on stopping and getting confusing.
All right. You don't check it done. We're cool. We can talk. Sorry about that.
Okay, so let me be just super clear so there's no confusion. Killing and eating animals for food. That is what we are currently doing. And when I say animals, I mean non-human animals. Now, you said that if we were to replace all of those non-human animals with human beings and did what we do to those animals to humans for food, you would have a moral issue with that, correct?
Yeah, go ahead. Move on. Yes.
Yeah. So now, do you have an issue with us doing those things to non-human animals?
There's a lot of factors. It's hard to just answer yes or no. It depends. There's so much different. It's more complicated than that. This is the problem with these type of line of questionings. Regions, areas, culture.
I mean, farming. Okay, so we'll just say where you're located. Farming humans.
Groups of people.
Farming animals for food. Growing animals, exploiting them, killing them for animal products. Are you okay with that? Killing animals at 1/4 their natural lifespan.
I leave that to sorry, go ahead.
I mean, that's it.
Depends on the people.
I'm trying to describe what I'm just trying to describe what we do to the animals that I'm asking you about. That's it. So, are you okay with that or not?
Just because I'm not okay with it, I can't put that same thing on different regions, different cultures, different countries.
Yeah. We're just talking about your ethical system, not anybody else's, just yours.
Just because it's my ethical system doesn't mean I have the right to impose that on anyone else.
We're not talking about whether or not your ethical system gives you the right to impose your ethical system on other people. I'm just asking about your own ethical system, and if your own ethical system says that you ought to be vegan. That we don't need to talk about, whether I have the right to tell other people to be vegan. We're just asking you right now if, according to your ethical system, you should be vegan. That's what I'm trying to figure out. You understand?
Go ahead, brother. I'm listening.
Yeah. So I'm just asking you if you have a moral issue with what you support when you buy animal products, which is, by the way, raising, exploiting, and killing animals for food.
You know what? I support it. If it's, I would support it.
You think it's ethical?
Yes. It's for farming, yes. To eat,
sure.
Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead. For nutritional value, yes, brother.
Okay, great. So you said that it's ethical in the animal case, but it's not ethical in the human case if we were to do these things to humans. So now I want to ask you, what is the morally relevant difference between humans and animals, such that it is ethical to kill animals for food, but not humans?
Wait, say that again?
I'm asking you, what is the morally relevant difference between humans and animals? Because you said it was okay to kill humans for food, or you said it was okay to kill animals for food, but not humans. So what is the morally relevant difference? Like, what do animals have that makes it okay to kill them for food, which, say, humans don't have? I'm asking you, what differentiates them?
No, nothing differentiates us.
Nothing?
No, not much. We assume so much because we're human beings. That's our ego part, but...
Well, I'm asking you why you view it as right to kill animals for food, but not humans. So what that indicates is that there is a difference between them that's influencing your differential attitude towards both of them. So, I mean,
some people, humans, my dude. It's not like I eat you. I'm not gonna eat you. I'm gonna eat a lamb or a certain animal, and I'm not gonna.
So the difference is because they're. Yeah. So the difference is just species. Is that what?
Yeah, species eat other. Yes. Go ahead. Yes.
So the reason it is ethical to kill animals for food is because they're not human. One of the reasons.
No, it's in our genetic, evolutionary diet since we were cavemen to be omnivores. To eat
So
both plants and animals and fruits.
Okay.
Our teeth.
So the reason
structures.
that it's ethical to kill animals for food
And
is
ask
because
any
we've been
nutritionist or doctor, they'll tell you that. Go
right,
ahead.
right. Okay, hold on. Sorry. So the reason it's okay to kill animals for food is because we've been doing it in history. It's been happening for a long period of time. Is that a good capture of your view?
I like how you paint these questions, like, you know, put them in this lane. But like I said, it was very complex. There's a lot of factors. But to answer your question, sure, it's okay to eat animals to eat. Yes.
Because evolutionarily
there's a long,
we've
complex,
eaten
very
them.
history. But yes, brother.
Well, to be clear, I'm asking like what the reason is that doesn't exist in the human context, like what differentiates them. So presumably,
we've been doing it. We've done it to each other anyways, even if I don't believe it's right.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say now. Like
I'm not going to eat a person for survival. I mean, well, depends. People would eat other people. It depends. This is like very straw man. Like, but no, I don't think it's very right. No matter what, I don't think I'm equal to certain animals or not. I think there's a hierarchy, my man. If that's what you're trying to get out of me to say, there is levels to this.
No,
I don't think Danny's trying to.
I'm gonna be
just to intervene. I don't think Danny's trying to get at you in any way at all. He's not. He's not trying to get you into a corner. He's just trying to understand where you're coming from and understand how you view these issues. And so, like, I think I understand that you feel like he's trying to push you, which is why you feel more, I don't know, reluctant to answer the questions. But he's just trying to understand how you decide what's right or wrong, so he can show you why he feels differently and try to meet you where you are. That's all that's trying to happen here. It's not he's not trying to own you or something, you know.
Yeah, I'm just trying to ask, like, to figure out why you have a different attitude to humans compared to animals, because you literally, when I gave you the questions, you said that it was okay to farm and eat animals but not farm and eat humans. So I just ask you, like, what is the difference between humans and animals that justifies that differential treatment? And then you said that
there's a lot. Depends what animal. Go ahead.
Okay, well, you said the reason was because you've been eating animals through our evolutionary process, and it's been a thing for a while. Yeah. So what I would just ask you now that we've gotten to that point is, if there was evidence that humans evolved actually eating each other, and we evolved eating each other and whatever, would you then consider it ethical to farm and eat humans? And this is just a consistency test, because, like, I'm asking you again, what is it that makes it ethical to eat animals? And if that's what it is, and we apply that to humans, you should consider it ethical to eat humans. So I'm just trying to see if you're consistent in the way you morally differentiate between humans and animals. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get what you're trying to ask me.
Yeah, it's just a logic test. It's like it's just seeing if you're consistent in your morals. Like just to give you an easy way to think of this too. Some people might say that the reason it's okay to kill animals for food but not humans is because animals aren't smart enough to talk. And then what I would say is, okay, so what if there was a human
animals have different animals have communication ways.
Okay, to talk like humans do. Okay, so I would just say, okay, so what if there was a mute human being? Is it okay to kill them, or a severely disabled human being who can't talk? Like, that's the way that I'm going about this. I'm just giving you a sort of like a logic test and seeing if you're consistent. So to put the question forward again, if there was evidence that humans evolved to eat each other, and it happened to the same degree that humans ate other animals in our evolutionary process, would you consider it ethical to farm and raise humans for food in the way that we are doing so with animals today?
I still don't think it's ethical to kill humans, but I don't consider them both to be completely equal all the way. Depends on what animal species, but like I said,
I asked you what the morally relevant difference was. You gave me it. I applied the morally relevant difference to humans, and you're still saying it's wrong. So what that says to me is, I mean, unless there's more differences, like we can keep going with the logic test.
This is super abstract. It's subjective.
It's just me giving you a basic consistency test to see
Because I'm not going to consider the life of an anchovy to the life of a a chimp or a certain species of apes. I mean, there is differences.
Okay, so there's more. So you're implying that now that there's more differences. So what else besides the evolutionary reason justifies the differential treatment? Is it like intelligence?
Conversations are not productive. No, there's even levels of differences of intelligence between ourselves or species. Like humans are that type of animal, and we're circling all this back and forth. People are omnivores, like I said. Even dietitians and nutritionists will tell you humans are omnivores by nature. You guys it's okay to be vegan. I never said it's not a bad thing. And again, we're gonna go circle this back. And I said morality and ethics are subjective, and it's cool. I don't think it's cool to like farm humans, and not every animal should be farmed. But that's just what am I gonna? I'm just a small little pebble in the pond.
Yeah, I mean, just to be clear, all I was doing was seeing if you were consistent.
Consistent, that's fine. None of us are consistent, and even on myself, I know.
Okay.
Morality could change from all of us.
So just from what I've gathered in this moment, where your morality is at, the justification you give for killing animals, you don't accept when applied to humans. So I would just say that you're not consistent in that your moral system, at least to my knowledge right now, does dictate that you ought to go vegan. I mean, I just want to say like I'm not trying to do this whole like gotcha like I disrespect you bro thing. Like,
that's why I'm still here. That's why I'm still here. I haven't left.
Yeah, the way that I like to the way I like to do these things is just try to show people that their own system actually says that they should be vegan, and that's what I try to do here. I think perceivably maybe that you didn't pick up on that, but I don't know. That's all I really have to say.
And it's okay
David,
that
you
you're
want to say anything?
Cool, man. Well, thanks for coming up, and yeah, I guess we'll give someone else a shot.
Thanks for having. Go ahead, man. Have a good night, guys.
See you, bro. It's been a while since I've ran a name the trade on someone.
Yeah.
A little rusty.
That was it's pretty exhausting, man. Just kind of like
it definitely
back and forth.
Is.
Was pretty exhausting.
It's hard to like, no disrespect to him, but
yeah,
it's hard to talk about something when like veganism is hard to talk about with certain people because there's a million directions that you can just go into.
Yeah.
Just out of literally nowhere if you want to. Like at the end, after I went over the logic test, he starts bringing up how humans are omnivores and nutritionists say it's okay to, and like that is, to be honest, it's completely irrelevant to what I was asking before.
Yeah.
But you can be with veganism, you can just go there. You can talk about so many things. It's like
I think
you have to make sure that it's centered and like
I think it also comes down to the fact that like if you're asked a simple question, I mean, you should give a simple answer, and of course there's nuance, but also there isn't sometimes really much nuance. Like, for example, if you're like, oh well, morality is subjective, it's like, okay, but you believe that hurting animals is wrong. Yes, you don't need to. Do you hold that belief? Yes, me too. Cool. So then why hurt animals for sandwiches that you don't need then? Well, because we did it for a lot of time. Well then, so you don't believe in that same morality as me because you think it's justified because we did it for a long time. Therefore, you don't hold the belief that hurting animals is wrong for something unnecessary. No, I do. So which is it then? We can hurt them unnecessarily because we have done forever, or no, I don't believe it's okay to hurt them unnecessarily. There's not much nuance to that question. It's very simple. You either bite the bullet and say, actually, no, I'm going to change what I believe. I believe it is okay to hurt animals for no good reason. Or you bite the bullet and say, no, what I just said about it happening for ages, it doesn't make any sense. You're right. I'm wrong. But unfortunately, this dude, although he was polite and everything, he wouldn't bite the bullet. And
there's a degree of like not like, and it's not his fault too, of not really fully understanding, I guess, what I'm getting at with the question, because when I ask you what is the morally relevant difference, and you give me a difference, and then after I give you the hypothetical, you bring up another difference. It's like, okay, well, you actually didn't spell out
Yeah.
all of the differences that I was asking for, and that just might be because he didn't fully understand what I was getting at. But
yeah,
that's why at the end I always like to just say, like, dude, it's just a consistency test. Like, I'm just seeing if your moral system makes sense.
Yeah.
And then when I say that, he starts saying, well, no one's moral system makes sense. It's like, okay, well,
that's
a whole nother topic. Like,
that's kind of what I said earlier.
let's
Like, it's a appeal to futility. It's like, well, yeah, we can all say it. We can all say it. Like, look, if I, it's like when people say, well, if I go vegan, it won't make a difference because loads of other people are still killing animals. And it's like, yeah, but if everyone thinks like that, nothing ever gets done. You know, like nothing ever changes. If everyone thinks, well, it will never change, then how do you think movements start? How do you think laws get written or unwritten? It doesn't just happen because we all think it should happen but don't do anything. It happens because we take action and we say we change and we talk and we all start to, you know, move, and society starts to adapt. And look at how many, you know, there's too many examples to go over here of things that were horrendous and unjust only like 10 years ago, and now you know, things are not like so. This doesn't happen if everyone sits around saying, well, you know, everyone's a hypocrite. It doesn't. That's not going to change things. Like,
and also I know you don't like to get super into the deep moral philosophy stuff with these people, but I will say that when people start to say things like, oh, what about driving cars, like at a certain point you kind of do have to start talking about, like, okay, well, hold on, like we need to see like what your ethical system is. We need to see what is the utility and disutility generated by driving cars compared to someone eating a hamburger, like, and it gets complex. And you need the person to provide an actual argument or like comparative analysis between the suffering caused by this action and that action, because vegans aren't just inherently, we don't think that every instance of killing is bad. Like, we understand that being vegan results in some death. There's even arguments that that crop deaths might actually be like a crop field might actually have less death in it than the field that it was prior when it was the wild and there were animals killing and eating each other all day long. So
interesting.
It's very complicated, and people like to just assume that vegans can't do anything if it causes the death of an animal, but it's a complex issue.
Yeah, I agree. I think the reason I avoid it is because I think most of the time, if you even got into like a heavily moral, philosophical discussion, I don't think the person who said that actually would be able to keep up with you. I think they only say cars though because it's just such a natural way to go to try and point out something that you've got that's bad. That's why people also will say, well, you don't do anything for humans, though. It's like, it's natural to try and criticize the person who's just, and the thing is, they think that we're criticizing them. I wasn't criticizing this guy, and I've not criticized anyone today. I'm just trying to find out what they think and show them that we actually agree, and that's why they should also stop doing this to animals. I'm not trying to like hurt them or make them feel like they're wrong, or I'm just trying to help them, or like not help them. I'm trying to get them to help animals because I think that's really important.
Right.
And a lot of people see that as like, well, you're criticizing me, so I'm going to find something that you're bad at. Do you drive? It's like, dude, there's no need for this. Like, this is not what this is. It's not me versus you. I'm just trying to like find where we agree. And you convince me to stop driving. If you believe strongly that driving is wrong, hit me. Maybe you'll convince me. And if you can convince me, I'll quit driving today. You know, I'm not being a jerk here. Like, I'm open to what you have to say, but don't switch the topic because you feel like you're on the ropes. You know, come on, let's be real here.
Yeah,
right?
it's a tu quo qui fallacy. It's called, where you just appeal to hypocrisy instead of actually face up to what someone's saying.
Yeah. But I've learned stuff. I mean, I've learned stuff. I've debated people before, and they've said something like, do you do this? And I'm like, right, okay, let's go down this road. Why should I not do that? And they've convinced me. There's things that I've stopped doing because someone's convinced me. It's not like we're the only ones that have the right opinions. Like, you know, sometimes people have, like, not sometimes, a lot of the time, people have great opinions and you know, things that make you think about what something you would do. And then, like, this is all we're trying to do, right? Trying to, like, you know, make things better for everyone. Anyway, there's someone requesting to speak. I don't know if they've been here for a while or not, but there's only one person. So should we bring him in, or are you done?
Yeah, sure.
All right, sweet.
We can bring one more.
Yeah, sure. Last one. Griff Siren. What's up?
Oh.
Hi.
What's up, dude?
Hey, what's up? Yeah, I've been watching for a while. I'm watching on YouTube and just listening for a while.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you agree with like some of the things that like the vegan teacher does and like the vegan community and stuff.
Yeah. Can I ask, what's your username on YouTube?
On YouTube?
Yeah, just so I don't know if you've been in the chat or not. I'm just wondering because I've been keeping an eye on the chat.
Yes, Marlena Brady.
Marlena Brady. Okay. No, I don't see you there yet. Cool, man. Yeah. Do we disagree with some of the stuff the vegan teacher does? Is that the question?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I agree with some stuff Danny does. I mean, Danny disagrees with some stuff I do. Like we don't all agree on everything, to be honest. We're all individuals, different views, different opinions. So yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because like I feel like that she's just like ruining the vegan community. Like whenever you hear vegan, you just think of her and you just like start clowning people.
I don't know about that, man. I mean, look, what do you? Yeah, how about we start here? Like, what has made you? What makes you not like her, or what's bothering you about a vegan teacher?
Well, it's because it's like she kind of forces people to like try to become vegan. Like she'd go to like a McDonald's or something and scream at people, acting like, "Why aren't you vegan?" Like doing this, singing songs and stuff. And it's like she's acting like we don't have a choice. Like she's trying to make us like we don't have any rights against it. Like trying to force us.
So check this out, man. Right. So check this out, right? If you were about to go into, let's say you're about to go into a chocolate store, right? It's like this. Just bear with me. It's a weird example, but there's a shop selling chocolate, right? And you're in the shop, and someone comes in and says, "Hey, listen, man, you don't want to buy chocolate here. This chocolate comes from slave labor. It comes from they use kids to pick cocoa beans. You don't want to buy chocolate here. Buy it from this other shop." Would you say that person's forcing the views on you, or would you be quite happy that they gave you that information?
I'd be happy, I guess.
I would too. I would want to know that the thing that I'm going to buy, if I'm paying for something horrible like that, I'd want someone to stop me and say, "Hey, listen, mate, you shouldn't buy that. Here's why." Now that's what vegan teachers doing. That's what vegans do. When they go into a McDonald's, they're saying, "Hey guys."
But also, there's like another like a point in that, like they're like if they're being slaved into doing it, like yeah, obviously you don't want to buy it, but like
Right.
why not buy it? Like they're just doing work for nothing if you're not gonna buy it.
Well, okay, but they're being forced into it, right? You said this. You said about being forced. These people they're being forced to do that in this scenario, right? This is what I'm saying. Like they are being treated like absolute hell. They're being forced into it. They have a horrible life. You know, it's slave labor. It's literal slavery in some of these places. Some of these people don't get paid, by the way. There are still literal slaves in these industries, as in they work for nothing. So you would not pay for that, would you? You would want to pay for that, right? And you would want someone to tell you to not pay for that. You'd say, "Please tell me if you know it and I don't know it, please come and tell me." That's what vegans do, like vegan teacher or others. They go to McDonald's. What we're hoping is that by telling people, "Hey guys, look at this laptop, look at this TV screen, look at what McDonald's does to animals," we're hoping that people will say, "Oh, I don't want to buy here. I don't want to pay for that. I'll eat something vegan instead," because we're hoping people are good. You know what I mean? Like that people aren't selfish and would actually want to buy something different. That's the point of going to a McDonald's or a KFC and speaking up, you know?
Yeah, but I also had a question, like what made you like want to become vegan?
Wow, it's a good question. For me, my story is kind of interesting. I was a vegetarian and I had some stomach problems, like some issues with some dairy products because I'm not a cow, right? A lot of people have problems with dairy, and it's not because they're lactose intolerant. It's because you're not a cow, man. That you're not supposed to drink the milk of some other animal. It's not. That's why so many people have these issues. But anyway, I started to just realize that animal products, milk is coming from a cow, eggs are coming from like a chicken's menstrual cycle, and I just started to ask myself, why am I eating these things? Can I not eat these things and be healthy? And then I realized, yes, I can. And then after that, I learned about how horrible these industries are, like how disgusting it is what they do to these animals. They, breeding them, killing them, using their bodies for profit, and the second they don't make them any money, they just kill them. It's horrible, horrible stuff, man. And I just realized that that's it for me. I don't want to pay for any of that, and I don't need to. I can be healthy like you can, you know. So it was a no brainer. What about you, Danny?
Yeah, my brother ended up going vegan before me. He had watched the documentary Earthlings, which I strongly suggest you watch as well. But and he's a very smart dude. He has his he's getting his PhD in computer science. So I'm only saying that so you understand what I was up against when he was arguing with me about it. So we would have conversations, and I didn't have a really good reason to defend my eating of animals, and I ended up watching some of the documentaries, including the one I just mentioned, Earthlings, and I realized that the pleasure that I gained from consuming animal products in no way justified the cruelty that it caused. And over time, I became more and more guilty every time I would consume an animal product, to the point where the guilt compelled me to end up going vegan. And you actually over time will, or I ended up not seeing animal products as food really. It's more like you see the footage that you previously watched, and it becomes a giant turnoff overall. And then I've sustained it since then, and it's been around 6.5 years, 6.2 years since I've made that switch.
There you go, man.
Yeah, that's a
What do you think, dude? Like, what's
short answer. Yeah.
What's stopping? What's holding you back from making that change, man, and being a vegan?
Mainly just like the taste, like the flavor.
What
Are you
exactly?
in the U.S.?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I live in Texas. So, like we have a lot of farms and stuff.
Are you near Dallas?
Yeah, like more Houston. Yeah.
Okay. I've actually heard there's a lot of pretty good vegan places in Houston, um, like vegan restaurants, and for sure, I mean, in the supermarkets, if you have them near you, there are a lot of vegan mock products like vegan meat, ice cream, cheese, milks, definitely. So I would just say that all those things that you like to consume, you can consume through plants, and that you're not really missing out on the taste by going vegan. You just have to over time learn where things are. Like I understand that when you first go vegan, it's like, oh my god, where do I even start? Like there's so many
Yeah,
different
like
things that I.
that was one of the things with me. It's like
Mhm.
you some like you'd have to look like if you wanted a certain type of like bread or something. Like
Mhm.
some people can't eat gluten and all that. You have to like look and see if it has gluten or not, and just do all
Mhm.
that. And I just thought it was like too much of a hassle just to do all that. Like
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
dude.
it's a process, and I would just, sorry, David, I'll say this and then you
Sorry.
can go.
Show him.
It's a process, and it can be very overwhelming at first, but I will tell you, and so will David, that after time, just like any sort of skill um, and practice, it becomes very easy. And it's like second nature at this point. I barely think about it. I know basically just by walking around the supermarket what is and isn't vegan, like 99% of the time. So in the beginning, it's a little difficult, but over time, it becomes basically nothing. So I would just keep that in mind.
Definitely, man. I've sent you the challenge 22 link to that. It's like a free kind of support system, like a vegan starter kit to get you started on what to buy, how to get the flavors you want, and textures you want without paying for animals to be killed. Right? It's really easy to do once you get into the hang of it. I've also sent you a link to a documentary called Dominion, which, dude, if you're somebody who likes to learn the truth, like that's hidden, if you want to know what's really going on, rather than just what the TV tells you, watch that documentary. It'll tell you everything that they've tried to hide from us for years, like about the food system. And mate, honestly, you'll be one of the few people in the world who knows this stuff if you watch that. It's pretty crazy what they hide from us, and then you can show other people and try and help get the word out about this, because it's crazy. So I really recommend you watch that.
all right.
Yeah, man. That's what do you think? Are you gonna check that out?
Yeah, I'll try it.
All right, man. Cool. And stick around. Stay in the server, man. There's lots of people here that are willing to help and give you advice, and you can ask questions in the any of the discussion rooms and stuff like that. So, yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, that's all I really want. So thanks for having me on.
Cool, man.
Yeah, no worries.
Thanks. See you later.
I see.
So the dude, Danny, there's one more person as someone who's been like really active in the chat and on the live stream on YouTube. They got really offensive and shitty earlier on, and then now that I've responded and potentially might be getting them on, they're being really nice. So let's.
Yeah, no, you could bring them on.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Sweet. It's this is actually his. I think it's this one. Salt upon wounds.
Hello, guys.
Hi. Are you
Hey, what's up?
Zooculture? Is this you?
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
I'm
Cool.
not sure how I did besides I insulted one time. I made an insult, which was lame of me. And I
The thing
apologize.
is, yeah, dude, I don't. You were in here earlier. I saw you in the list, and then you weren't in the list. And when I picked that other person, they were the only one there. So I don't know what happened, man. But yeah, you're here now anyway.
Oh, fair enough. And I appreciate you guys. I'm new to the using Discord. I probably screwed something up.
Oh, no worries. No worries. So you've been very active on YouTube. I see you've been pissing some people off. So what's
Not hard to do.
Yeah, sure. It's a live chat, isn't it? Things escalate over there. Yeah, I've not kept up with your arguments, man. I've not kept up with your points, to be honest. So what are your kind of points? What did you want to talk about?
Well, it got the backyard chicken discussion going. We live here on a permaculture farm and keep chickens, and we eat the eggs. But like if I didn't have chickens, I would be a vegan. I think it's pretty obvious to me that veganism is the ideal ethical way to live. I think any other arguments against that are kind of silly. I understand the cultural necessity for a lot of people and that they haven't gotten to a place where they can, meet their nutritional needs. For example, like there's a lot of indigenous culture that we interact with around here, and like they fish, they live off the land, and that's their way to be economically independent. And it would be kind of ridiculous for me to recommend them to be vegan.
Right. Yeah. Because if it's a survival situation, I mean, I don't know about. Obviously, if people are doing this for survival, like they have no other choice, then it becomes a situation where it's like, yeah, why would vegans even focus on those groups of people anyway? When there are people out there are literally millions of people who are not in that position. Why would vegans go and start focusing on those people, the ones that aren't, that are in the survival situation where there are millions who aren't? So no, yeah, that doesn't make any sense to try and.
Well, that's really cool. I completely agree with you guys. Some of the people in the chat were calling me a horrible person and an abuser for that stance. So it's cool to hear that you don't agree with that.
An abuser because you wouldn't try to convince indigenous people to, like, who need to do it to survive to not do it. Like
more so because I eat the chickens not eat the chickens, eat the eggs from our chickens on our farm.
Oh, right. So if we're going to talk about that specifically, I mean, all right. So where are those chickens coming from?
About half of them were rescued actually from a barn that burnt down from a neighbor. The other half we got from a man up island.
Right.
There's like an old indigenous community. We buy some chickens from them.
Yeah. And what are you doing with them when they are not giving eggs anymore?
Well, that's the other part of the thing I'd like to talk about is like they do the weeding in our garden. We have a permaculture garden, right? So we don't have to use pesticides or fertilizers because we got our little chicken tractor moving through. They're happy chickens, man.
Yeah.
There's no abuse going on.
And what about when they are not giving when they stop making eggs? Then what do they do? What do you do with them?
We just let them live out their life. We don't eat them.
Right. So they just basically you bought some, you rescued some, you keep them in the garden, and then they just die. That's it.
Yeah, we breed them though. We definitely want to keep our chickens going because it's a part of the agriculture system.
Right.
But yeah, we don't eat them. I don't know. To me, it's like the morals and everything, absolutely, but it's aesthetically even just disgusting to eat a dead thing. That's like, why would I do that when I don't have to?
So you're in a position where your diet is plant-based apart from the eggs that you're eating.
Yeah.
Right. That's interesting. And that's because you don't. Well, I assume you don't agree with. Well, you just said you don't think it's right to eat meat, right? But what about like dairy products? Like, what's the reason you don't consume dairy products?
Well, I mean, cow's milk's meant for baby cows. It's just kind of, it's not meant for humans, I don't think. It's kind of silly to me. I understand culture's growing and depending on that, but like we're in a position here on the farm where we don't have to do that.
Right. It's interesting. I've never really. Sorry, go on.
Sorry. I was just going to say, we definitely do believe in animal husbandry. And I work, like a lot of the vegan arguments, I see them like ultimately ending in like everyone just getting factory produced, mass manufactured food, and animals like chickens and cows are just going extinct.
Yeah.
Because nobody would keep them anymore. Like I don't think that's the way to go. It's not how you build soil health. You need animals to build soil health.
Yeah. So there are like, I mean, are you aware that there are ways to do what you're doing without animals? Like, have you ever looked into that? Because it is possible. Is that something you've ever looked into?
It's not possible. Tell me, how do I do that? Permaculture doesn't exist without animals.
I mean, there are. I'll be completely honest with you. This is not like I'm not my area of expertise, but I've met people who it is their area of expertise who are doing this in a veganic way. So I mean, it is being done. Like some people are doing it. I can't tell you exactly how because I don't know the ins and outs. But yeah, I was just wondering if you'd ever looked into it because there are people doing it. Yeah.
There's things like effective microorganisms, which are like different fermentations of groups of organisms that you can create to create beneficial soil. There is a lot of things you can do, but it's pretty darn expensive. A lot of it's cutting edge. I mean, honestly, I think if the environmentalism debate was honest, these are the things that we would be looking into instead of worrying about carbon credits and all this stuff.
Right.
I think it should be much more focused on like what we can actually do to solve things. And like when I was a kid, we grew up, I don't mean to get sidetracked, but in the 90s, environmentalism was about rivers being polluted and forests being cut down. And now it's all just about consumer solutions. So I don't buy any of it. And I'm suspect a lot of the veganism stuff seems to be like consumer solutions. So I appreciate that you guys were saying, you were skeptical of that.
Yeah. I'm trying to understand how you've pissed. Like, I think I've missed. I think this some part of what you've said that either is not being said now, or because I'm not really understanding what all the commotion was in the chat. Really, like what was causing so much drama earlier, because there was a lot of it. What exactly? I know you're telling me what as you recall it, but obviously we're only getting one side here, as I'm trying to understand. But anyway, it's all right. It's all good.
Can I just take the moment to apologize to any of the people that I did offend, and I appreciate this opportunity to talk to you guys.
It is what it is. It is what it is. So, right.
Good faith engagement is going to be the key to all of us building a better world together, right? So we got to learn to
Yeah.
The things we are most passionate about, we have to learn to have dispassionate arguments.
I would say, like at this point, I would say, kind of similar to what I said earlier, in that, you and what you're doing is, in the grand scale of things, it shouldn't be a focus for me, Danny, in my opinion, or any activist. The reason I say that is that although I do not agree with breeding animals for profit or for our own benefit, right? I don't agree with you on that. I don't think that's a good thing to do. I wouldn't do it myself. I don't think animals should be treated as though they are commodities or things for us to take and use and take, right? But
I never argued for any of those things.
But you argue for it when you're doing it, right? That's. But you're breeding animals.
Yeah, not because they're commodities. We don't own them.
Sure, but you're breeding them for
animals.
You're breeding them for your benefit.
And you know what? I think they like being alive too. I think they enjoy their existence as well.
Sure, that's the whole other point. But the point is that their existence, they're existing because they benefit you, right? That's why they're being bred into existence, because they're doing jobs for you. No. They're providing like you're saying, like the kind of tractor thing, which is and also
if they didn't produce eggs and didn't do like the tractor thing, would you continue to breed them if they were just there as like just to be taken care of? There was no benefit for you.
I enjoy their existence. Absolutely. They're sweet. They're fun for the kids to be around. You get to learn to interact with nature. We don't kill them once they stop producing eggs. That proves they're not just a commodity to us.
So this is what I was trying to get at earlier, is that like, this in this situation, if this is true, if this is like, I mean, we'll take you at your word, obviously, and if this is like probably like, I don't know, Dan, if you would agree with me, a low priority thing to even get into, because like what's the point of getting into this conversation and trying to convince you to not do this when there are people out there who literally pack animals into factory farms and slit their throats when they're like babies? Like, what would be the point of me and Danny spending like 3 hours on this kind of discussion with you? Do you know what I mean? Like it
absolutely,
Yeah,
it doesn't
be
make
allies on that.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
very low. It's low priority, and I think there's a part of the vegan community that like develops like a I'll use the word like a deontological, which is kind of means like a very
Sure.
rule-based objection to any sort of use of any animal ever or breeding them, and that kind of viewpoint gets extremely upset with even instances like this where you are technically breeding them, but there's no actual suffering resulting from it. But you are, at least to this, to some extent, you with uh, the permaculture thing and the egg scenario, you are using them to an extent, and some would have an issue with you just doing that, like using an animal for your benefit.
Yeah, well, they use us too. We feed them. They use us for shelter. They use us for heat. They use us for company. It's a mutual beneficial relationship. We don't view it as a commodity, so we don't have to view it as using it. It's not a consumer perspective.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that they're not like using you in the way that you can use and intend to use another being. So I wouldn't say like it's they're using of you as analogous to your using of them. I'm not even sure what it would mean to say that they are using you. But we'd have to get super philosophical about the brains of these animals and if they can even conceptualize concepts like that. But I'm just trying to tell you what vegans would have an issue with if they did.
Yeah, I think most
that stuff is trash.
I think most vegans, including myself, if like I said, if I was going to spend time on this, which I don't see much utility in it really, there's so much point, but I would say that the situation that you're in, where they're being bred, these animals are being bred, right? And when you say you're breeding them, I suppose, does that mean that you are like, how are you, wait, that in itself, it could mean that are you leaving them to just like breed themselves, or like do you have roosters that stay, or like how is that working?
We let them get jiggy and do their thing. The chickens naturally do their thing if you have a few males around.
And you have roosters like with the group, so is that how it works with you, or do you bring them in?
Yeah, if you want to have eggs, you got to separate the males from the females, and then if the males are with the females, then the eggs get fertilized. So we rotate it, right?
Right. Okay, that's interesting. I can't remember the point I was going to make. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think like the moral argument that a lot of people, including myself, would go to say is that it's, although yeah, like you've said, it doesn't appear to be any suffering per se here, but then it's the argument of using other animals for the benefit of ourselves, right? And although it may start something like what you're discussing here, oftentimes it won't stay there, and oftentimes situations that like the one you're in are used to justify situations that are far different to that. So I think this is why you'll see a lot of vegans who will get very passionate, because we know where it leads. Like I've been in factory farms, and I've been in small farms where what you're saying is absolutely not happening. It is even though sometimes the picture is painted like it's like what you're saying, but it's not true. So you'll find a lot of people.
A vast exception to the rule, and anyone who tries to use what I'm saying as like a justification to go buy animal products is full of it.
Yeah,
you're absolutely right.
This is it. Yeah, so I think we can agree on that at least. But and purely like I don't know, Danny, it's kind of an interesting one, because I feel like it's kind of practical versus kind of philosophical. Like practically, there isn't harm being done, I suppose, if you look at it like really practically think about it. But philosophically, I still don't agree with the concept of using them. Do you know what I mean? That maybe you could put this in a better word.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to, first, before I do that, I wanted to ask, what do you do with the roosters? They just kind of hang around too? They just don't produce eggs for you?
Yeah, they do their thing. They're our alarm clock as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They protect the
so
flock too, right? They keep the hens protected.
Yeah, I mean the reason I this all just feels weird to me is because like yeah, the using aspect, that you still in some sense are breeding them for some kind of benefit, and I don't know if I would ever consider it ethical to, like, if you had hypothetical, let's say chicken level sentient humans that you could just breed, that will just like be producing eggs for you, and that will be taking care of your permaculture endeavors. Like, I just don't think that that'd be ethical.
The alternative is chemical fertilizers.
Mm-hmm.
And
See, I
chemical
don't want to.
pesticides.
I don't want to get like the empirics of like what the alternatives are, and like what David was trying to describe earlier. Like, I'm
Well,
not
it's the
educated
food
enough
supply.
to.
It's the food supply. Well, that's my point. That's exactly my point.
Yeah.
Well, but similar to David, I've heard people that are more versed in this area that have described alternatives, but I can't give you them specifically because again,
Yeah.
I only remember the
They don't
conversation.
exist.
I mean,
I
I
mean,
don't know. I hard to take your word for it when I have like a memory of alternatives being presented, but
Yeah.
whatever. For the sake
One other thing I want
Yeah.
to say is a lot of people have come out to the farm and been exposed to like a lot of people aren't in touch with their food supply. They don't know what a broccoli plant looks like, and then they're blown away by the gardens, and then they go hang out with the chickens and stuff.
Yeah.
And people have an experience because they've never ever been around one. People have like questioned, like I've had talks with people. I'm like, yeah, and you want to kill that just to have one meal? You'll swat a mosquito for stinging you. You want to kill this beautiful creature just for a meal?
have you
And they
heard
wouldn't
of
have that exposure if they didn't go to the farm.
have you heard of veganic farming? Some people are mentioning that in the chat.
Yeah, veganic farming. Yeah, it's like a hypothetical.
What is it? Is it like a myth or something? Because I'm pretty sure
It's
it
an
exists.
internet meme that doesn't have any existence in the real world. There's no one's doing that.
I would say
There's backyard
they are.
backyard gardeners. There's backyard gardeners. There's nobody producing a legitimate food supply. We produce 60% of our own food here, and then we trade for the rest of our food.
So you think the veganic farms that exist, I believe there's some in California or something, that they're like fantasy? They don't exist?
No, they exist. They have tons of money put in, and they use chemicals. They rely on chemicals. They're not organic permaculture farms.
Yeah, I think
they're high vegan.
Yeah, the reason
following the rules for the sake of the rules.
Aren't there? I'm just gonna be ignorant of these things. Aren't there like legume based for like things that you can use, or is that something else? I'm not. Again, this is not. Area, so.
You're absolutely right. Legumes are nitrogen fixers for sure. We have to integrate legumes into our crops more.
So that's only part of it.
It's not a be all or end all, and anyone who insists that it just needs animals, that's kind of BS too. I would love to get to a point where we don't rely on animals, but at the same time, I love living around cows. I love living around chickens. I don't want to live in a world where those animals don't exist and aren't near me.
Sure.
So I would still breed. I'd still breed them just for their company.
Could I ask you also? I said a thought, and also someone mentioned in the chat as well. One of the issues with egg farming is that when you're breeding the chickens, you can't guarantee whether they're male or female. So what do you do when they're male? Because I assume you don't. What are you doing with the male chicks if there are male chicks born?
Like if we're birthing the chicks?
Well, you said you were breeding them, right? So I guess sometimes there are male chicks who are born into the farm. Like what do you do with those guys?
We keep them. We've got 6 right now. Yeah, because you roughly get about 50% males and 50% females. So they're kind of getting at the point. What if you get overrun with roosters?
Right. And you said you're breeding cows as well, did you say?
No, we don't breed cows, but I love cows.
I
love being around cows. I don't want to live in a world where there isn't cows around.
Yeah, sure. No, I get that. It would be nice if they could all exist in sanctuaries and places where they're not being, used and killed, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but if they're in that said sanctuary and they're eating grass and they're pooping, there's ways to integrate them into the landscape.
Sure.
And it's not abusing them. It's making use of. We call it closing the loops in permaculture. It's like making use of things and not having any waste.
Right.
And in that sense, the animals like reinforce their value to be alive and to be a living, happy, healthy part of the ecosystem, not something to be exploited.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, I don't think anyone's going to disagree with that. So with the and
cool,
also
guys.
one more question, dude. With the I've got to ask about the chickens. So, I've met a lot of people who've rescued chickens. I'm talking like actual people who have like actual not farms, but they have sanctuaries with a lot of chickens that have been rescued.
Yeah.
And one of the major issues they have is because of the way they've been selectively bred and manipulated. They produce far too many eggs than that a chicken should produce, right? So in the wild, they're only supposed to lay 12 to 14 eggs, but most of them are laying like 30 to 50 or more in a year. And so this causes their bodies quite a lot of stress and tension. Is that something you've looked into? And if so, like what a lot of these people do, these sanctuaries, they feed the eggs back to the chickens because of to replenish the nutrition they lost. Have you ever heard about that before?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. The nutrition that they're exactly what they're giving out to their babies is what they're losing for themselves.
Yeah.
Mothers sacrifice everything for their child. So yeah, you can totally, you can do that.
So
had
you considered feeding the eggs back to them rather than eating them to help them have like longer, healthier lives?
No, it's not something I've considered. We've got like, for example, like tons of wasps that fly around, and the chickens peck the wasps out of the air, and then we feed them a bit of our extra grain.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that but that's a fair enough question. I should look into what nutritionally is in eggs that they might not be getting in their diet already.
It's this calcium. They lose a lot of calcium by laying the eggs. That's it. Really sucks up all their calcium, and then when you crush the eggs and crush the shell in as well and put it in with some like oats or something, they eat it back, so they get that calcium back again, and so they're not losing it anymore.
I'm not sure they'd be able to absorb the calcium from the eggshells.
Apparently they can, man. Apparently they can. Like and this is me speaking on. There's sanctuaries that have been looking into this and like been doing it for a long time. That's why I know about it. But dude, at the end of the day, like that's something to I hope you'll consider.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I come to this. Yeah. Cool. Very cool. I appreciate you guys' time. I know you guys were going to end the stream a while ago, and then you gave me some time. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
I don't know if you care to do this, David, but someone in the chat wants to come on and talk. I'm sure that they would know more about the topic than us. I don't know if you have time for that or
who's coming. What's the name of the person?
Their name is Shifting Gears.
So this Shifting Gears person, I'm pretty sure, if memory serves, that they're I don't know. I've got to.
It sounds so familiar.
The name rings a bell to me, but not for. Sorry, Shifting Gears, if I'm getting this wrong, but I've got a bad feeling. I don't know why. Let me just double check. But anyway, I don't know your name, your real name, by the way. But thank you for coming on. Thomas, did you say?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thanks for coming on. And I got to be honest with you, dude. A lot of people in the chat don't believe you, which is, we can only go from what you're saying, and I hope you're telling the truth, and I hope you will consider, what we've mentioned about
environmental issues. Would you be able to talk about this?
I have a sort of more of a layman's understanding, but you can ask some questions. I'll see if I can answer them. Same with David. David, did you get disconnected?
Yeah, it just keeps cutting out on my side, man. I don't know what's going on with my shit.
If you want, we could just do this last person, then just end it.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, cool. They wanted to know some environmental things about veganism, which I don't know if it's relevant or not to what we're doing, but we can give it a go.
It's about the impact of veganism on environmental issues. So I would have a question. would you advocate veganism for the whole Western society? For, like, say, everyone about?
I mean, I'd advocate for you mean like if for everybody to go vegan right now? Is that
Yeah.
what you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if it's possible.
I would
sure.
advocate. I mean, I would advocate for a plant-based food system that allowed everybody to live healthily and access everything they need on a plant-based diet. Absolutely, I think
David,
I would.
David, could you mute yourself on the stream?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. I would advocate that for the entire world. I would love it if every single person on the planet had access to a full, nutritionally adequate plant-based diet, so that no one ever had to, go and slit an animal's throat to survive. I think it's horrible that some people have to do that. I would advocate for everybody to be able to live in that way instead.
Okay, good. If you don't mind, I would like to focus on Western countries because actually that's the ones I know best and understand the most. So I don't know about the rest of the world, so impacts and problems. So if you don't mind, I know you don't like to do this, but could you, for the sake of this conversation, consider animals as a product, mean of getting food, just for the sake of the conversation? I would say there's a problem. It might not be a problem in itself, but veganism for everyone in a Western society might not be the best environmental choice, because having it's not the best, because we could think of a system that would be better, where we would eat animal products and lots of plants, obviously, and it would have a lesser impact on the land use, the amount of square kilometers we would use to grow our food, and also probably on emissions. So based on this, would you find it okay to have a not entirely vegan society, but what would tends toward it?
So so there's a few. Okay, so you're saying that the land use, you feel like it wouldn't be an improvement on that. You're saying environmentally it wouldn't be an improvement, right? That's what you're trying to say. The thing is,
no, that's not what I'm trying to say.
Sorry, go ahead then. I'm just trying to trying to get the point. Sorry, go ahead.
Maybe I'm going to post something in the stage 1 text, if you don't mind, an image. The thing is, the current society is actually polluting a lot, and the way we grow food. As a matter of fact, veganism would do better, I would say. But actually, there might be something even better, and society we could build a society that would be even better, environmentally speaking, than veganism, but wouldn't be vegan.
You're hypothetically saying that if that existed, would we go for that? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm suggesting that actually we could build one, probably.
But why would we do that if we could have? Wait, I don't understand. So it is a hypothetical. You're saying we could do that potentially, but you're saying, but you don't know if it is that is possible. But you're saying it could be done. I'm trying to follow.
I'm trying to say that we could change the system so it would still not be vegan, but be environmentally friendlier than veganism.
Okay, you're making the claim that we can do that. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, and what are you proposing exactly?
Well, apparently I can't post any links in stage 1 or images.
Right.
That's unfortunate, but well, I'll try to explain it.
Yeah, go ahead.
For nowadays, every person that goes vegan would reduce the global average of animal products that are consumed in society.
Okay.
This lowers the environmental footprint, but up to a certain point.
Apparently, you could post the link now. if you want.
Oh, good.
Mm-hmm.
That is true up to a certain point, because once you read like a vegetarian society or close, the environmental footprint starts to go up a little bit again, because the less animals you eat, the less land you need, until you start to need more crops, and then you start to need more land than before, than just a vegetarian society about.
Yeah.
And it might change from country to country, because it's not a fixed value.
Yeah.
But as a tendency is there.
But this doesn't take into account the crops that are already being grown to feed the billions of animals that are being slaughtered and used and slaughtered. I'm seeing this graph, but it can't possibly take that into account. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. Otherwise.
Yes, it does. That's actually the thing. If you lower your average meat consumption of the society, you will need to grow less crops. And if you going even further down, you will need to grow even less crops. Up until the point where you are about a vegetarian society, and then you need to grow more crops again.
But that wouldn't make sense, because currently, even if only the estimate that was given, which is probably too low, but the estimate that was given by the FAO, whatever it is, was 14% of the current crops being grown are human edible. That is already enough to feed like a significant proportion of the population. 14% of the crops grown to feed millions and millions of animals, like billions of animals, are human edible crops, and that's like a low estimation. I'm pretty sure it's more than that. So I don't really understand, like, without getting into this, I don't understand how this data can make sense. But even if let's go and say it's true. Let's say it's 100% true, right? Let's say that we do cross a point, and then it becomes more not as environmentally good after a certain point, right? Let's agree on that. Let's just say that's how it is. Then you know what else would be fantastic for the environment? It would actually significantly reduce our impact on the environment. Genocide. Wiping out humans would be fantastic for the environment if we could just take out, a couple of countries worth of people. But that sounds mental. I know I'm saying it to sound a bit crazy. But the point is, why don't we do that? Well, because that's not an ethical thing to do. We see that the humans have lives that are important, and we don't believe that we should impede on the rights to live or make them suffer or die for the sake of trying to, improve the environment, right? We draw a line there. So then the question is, if we draw a line there, then why are we changing the line for animals that aren't human? Why do we hold a different moral standard? Why do we say it's okay to take the non-human animals and use them for food and everything, but because it helps the environment? But if we just did a Thanos, clicked our fingers and killed all the humans, that wouldn't be okay to help the environment. But doing the same thing to animals is okay. As Danny was saying earlier, what's the morally relevant difference that makes it not okay to do that to humans for the environment, but makes it okay to do it to animals for the environment?
Well, I would say we have kind of a competition between species on who wants to survive more or means to survive. So I would say, yeah, that doesn't sound right to do so. But in my point of view is that caring more about the environment would be about one of the top priority list, because if we
Can I just pause you there for a second? Sorry, yeah. Can I just pause you there for a second? It is a top priority, as you said, but it's not above human life. Like you just said, saving the planet, killing off humans would help save the planet, but we won't do that, even though saving the planet's a top priority. So why do we not hold that same moral standard for the animals? Why are we not saying, hey, saving the planet's a top priority, but not at the expense of putting these animals through torturous, a horrific, torturous life and using them for food? Why are we drawing a different line for humans and a different line for animals? That's what I'm trying to understand.
I get.
What's the morally relevant
There's a misunderstanding.
difference? You get my point?
There's actually a misunderstanding. The reason why after a certain point, veganism starts to become less environmentally friendly than vegetarianism or flexitarianism, is because I would not advocate for the current food production system on a smaller scale.
Yeah.
Because like this image, if you take this image, this is not grassland where you could grow crops on. So you can only use it for example, cows or goats to eat.
Yeah.
So that means a system, an alternative system where we ideally for the environment, this wouldn't be a torturous life for animals. And this would be, well, cows grazing on hills. And,
yeah, but listen, man, they go to a slaughterhouse and they get shot in the head and have their throats slit. It's not a beautiful existence, okay? Like, I mean, grazing out in the fields is fantastic, but the end is always violent and always brutal. So the point is that, again, we need to keep going back to that point. Why again do we draw a line with humans but not with the other animals when it comes to saving the environment? Why, instead of looking at the system and saying, hey, let's build a system around taking animals and cutting their throats for calories, why are we not looking for a system that can be even better than that for the environment and that doesn't do that? You know, like, for example, I could put forward to you, hey, look, let's go out and let's kill a load of people because it'll help the environment. And you'd say to me, no, David, no, I'm not going to do that with you. And I don't think you should do that because that's not okay. We shouldn't make humans suffer. I'm putting that same argument to you. I'm saying, hey, look, you've got a good idea here to save the environment, but I don't believe that we should put animals through that for the sake of the environment. Why don't we find a different way? Right?
Yeah, there's a point where morality comes before environmentalism. Like kind of like what David's saying. Like if we were to throw morality out the window and solely focus on environmentalism, then yeah, mass genociding all humans would be a great idea. But because we have morality, we don't do that for the sake of the environment. So to answer your question of like, would we accept a food system that is better for the environment than veganism, but involves the genocide of all these animals? I personally would say no, for the same reasons that I would never accept if farming humans was ethical, or sorry, environmentally friendly, and more environmentally friendly than a vegan world where we don't farm humans. Like that would never be the better option, because even though it's more environmentally friendly, it requires mass murder, and so that's a perfect example of why we wouldn't. And in the animal case, we wouldn't as well.
Well,
Exactly, yeah.
I know this is kind of a personal choice, but I would say that having a planet which is more keeping the planet in a state where we can live on it is actually, to me, more important than morals. Because if the planet is not in a state where it's possible to live on, then no one would benefit from it,
of course,
including animals.
But
so basically, it's a number thing.
Yeah, just to interject, but you're speaking from a position that this is the only choice when it isn't. This is
not
the
exactly.
point.
Not exactly. I would say three things to say there. First, I would say it's from a number perspective. If we had to make a few animals suffer in order to keep the environmental stable, then I would say I would do it, because if we don't do it, then hundreds of billions of animals would suffer from these consequences.
Yeah.
And that's not actually a good trade to me.
Sure, but it's not.
Secondly,
Okay.
I'm not
okay, we'll
really
go one by one.
advocating
Maybe
here
one by
for-
one. Maybe one by one, because that's the problem with what you're saying is that's not the situation we're in. We're not in a position. This is a hypothetical where, like, oh, would you kill one animal to save billions? That's not where we're at right now. What you're saying is you want to advocate for a system that gets millions of animals and shoots them in the head and slits their throats because it might be better for the environment based on one study. Like, this is where you're never going to convince people who are, ethically minded, like towards not doing this to animals. You're not going to convince people with that. We will always say there has to be. Well, we're going to look for another way. And also, you know, 1 or 2 studies isn't going to cut it to justify this. It needs to be provable beyond any reasonable doubt that the only way we can save the planet is by killing animals. Then maybe you would convince a vegan of this, or you know, myself or Danny. But that's categorically not where we're at. Like, we are not in that position. So this is where you're going to find a lot of pushback and you know, encouraging. We're trying to. I'm not saying I'm right and you're wrong. I'm just saying, hey, let's keep looking here, right? Let's not just go and start advocating to kill loads of animals for the planet. Let's
yeah, there
you know,
might
there's
be
got
a,
to be
a
another
bit
way.
of a conflation between, like, in this hypothetical, the vegan world being less environmentally friendly than the non-vegan food system, and then the vegan world causing the destruction of the whole planet and the planet just dying off. Like, just because it'd be hypothetically less good environmentally than the non-vegan food system doesn't mean that it's gonna just result in billions of animals dying and the whole world just collapsing.
Just a ball of
That would
fire.
yeah, like, that's a huge empirical case, and the burden of proof is going to be on you to show that. And I don't even know where one would begin to demonstrate such a bold claim or idea.
That's not exactly it. The thing is, well, I suppose you know about the environmental problems we have. And so I would say going for the most environmental friendly options would reduce the probability of having an let's say destroyed planet where hundreds of billions of animals would die. That's it's a term of probability. That's how I would put it. And the thing is, I'm not exactly advocating here for mass murder on millions of animals. It's not exactly like that. But I would say, take as an example, goats. I know that like countries like Portugal or Australia, they use goats to prevent forest fire by letting them just graze and eat plenty of the vegetation there. I would say what would prevent us from using these cheap methods to prevent forest fire, and get some milk, not too much, and then when the goats die, we could salvage and eat the corpses. So that would mean we would have to grow less crops, and we still would have the same amount of food without having to hurt the animals. I don't think that's a bad trade for the animals either, because the goats would have plenty of food for their whole lifetimes. Would have the protection from predators. They would if they get sick, they get healed. And the humans are there to care for their temperature habitat. So actually, it doesn't sound like such a bad life of torture for them.
No, because you're talking about a purely idyllic hypothetical that everybody likes to pretend is happening, where the reality is that it's the complete opposite of that. And all of these goats would end up in
advocate for such a system.
Right.
I would like to advocate for such a system that doesn't exist, but wouldn't be vegan perfect.
But then, as Danny said earlier, you'd have to prove that this non-vegan system would save us from a certain, you know, destruction of the planet, whereas the vegan system would destroy the planet. And if the answer is that we can't prove that, then why not go for the solution that doesn't involve taking animals and milking them and getting them pregnant and all these different things? Because you can't just get milk from goats without getting them pregnant, and you've got to bring them in and you know, force them to take the milk from them. It's not like they just walk over to you and they're like, hey, I got some milk, do you want it? Like, you've got to take it. You've got to take it by force. You've got to take the babies away because the babies are going to have milk, or you've got to selectively breed them so they produce more milk than they need, which brings up a lot of other problems. In this idyllic scenario you're describing, unfortunately, it doesn't exist. And it can't exist because animals are not built to be resources. They're not resources. They are complex beings that are, you know, they've evolved to do what they do. And when we intervene, we end up creating these monsters with all these different illnesses and mutations and problems. And this is the reality, mate. And this is why this idyllic thing that you're describing, it's not going to happen. It can't happen, unfortunately. I would be with you if it could happen. You know, maybe I would be sympathetic to this idea, but I know for a fact that it can't, because, like I said, they're not resources. They're not things that can just be, punched into a computer and produce an animal that does exactly what we need them to do. They suffer always.
On the current system, I would agree, but
in all
really...
systems, this is what I'm trying to say. That the system you want is based upon animals doing exactly what we want them to do, and the way to get them to do exactly what we want them to do involves us manipulating their bodies and causing them a load of issues. That's how you get animals to be what you want them to be, so you can take stuff from them and sell it or whatever. They don't just magically do what you need. That's selective breeding comes in, and then there's all these problems, mate. So there's just the reality is that not the reality, not the hypothetical that you're discussing, unfortunately. But
well, really, what I'm trying to say is that if we want to have keep the environment as healthy as possible, I would say I would aim for the best solution that might be what we could achieve. I would aim for that.
Well, the best solution we could achieve would be genociding half of the human population, and I'm sure you're not going to advocate for that.
Not even, probably 100% of the population.
Yeah, that's the that would be the best for the environment. But you're not going to do that.
To be honest,
yeah.
If I had to kill 1 million people to keep the environment in a good shape, I would actually do it. I know it's not fair. It's not something nice to do. I wouldn't be happy about it. But if that means it drastically changes the probability of tackling the environmental issues and making the life easier for the rest of billions of people.
Like Thanos. This is like Thanos thinking. I don't mean to condescend, but
no, dude, I think at this point,
I think that
I would agree on that.
You can condescend.
It's a kind of what Thanos thinking.
Look, man,
it's kind of
I think like there's a so what's most environmentally friendly isn't always what's most ethical, at least to a lot of people. And
to most people, not this thing.
Yeah, but you stand on the other side of that issue, like where you think generally the more environmental thing is going to be ethical as well. But I don't know. I just don't agree with genociding 1 million people.
No, man. I mean, Danny, you need to open your mind, bro. You need to get on board with this. Genocide is the way forward. It's how we save the planet, bro. That's what we need to do.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Oh,
I'm saying if it was theoretically possible to kill 1 million humans and save the rest, I would do it. But
it is theoretically possible. It is exactly as you said it. Killing 100 million humans would be fantastic for the environment. So why are you not advocating for that? If that it's not theoretically, it is theoretically valid. That is how it would work, man. So maybe that's where you need to switch your focus to.
Okay.
I'm just, bro. I mean, like, if you see no moral issue with that, I don't know why we're even discussing animals at this point. If you've no moral issue with wiping out 100 million humans to save the planet, I mean, of course you're not going to have an issue with killing animals for the same reason, right?
If I may ask one more thing.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about the phosphorus cycle?
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, then there's probably no point in talking about it.
No worries, man. Well, yeah, look, we'll wrap it up there because we're about to close off now and close the stage anyway. So, thanks for your time, and
Thanks for yours.
Cheers, man. Bye. What a way to finish. So, we'll just read out a few donations. Just quickly, got one from Casey Berger. Thank you so much for the donation. I know that was in relation to you were saying thank you for the big troll that you did. So yeah, appreciate that. Thank you. I trolled. Did you see that, Danny? I trolled vegan gays big time the other day.
What did you do?
I came on a live stream with a voice changer and convinced her that I was an anti-vegan. It was really funny.
Nice.
And Hanu has made a donation of €20. Thank you so much. It says being on the right side of the future feels so good. Oh, it's a very nice message. And Hanu, again, for the good work you do, keep it up. Thank you so much for both of those, Hanu. The being on the right side of the future is like, oh, people are going to be like, oh, you and your moral high horse. But no, I appreciate it, and we're fighting an upwards battle, aren't we? If you call it that, upwards fighting an uphill battle. We're going against the stream, but hey, we're not going to stop, are we? And quickly, just to clarify something here, I know there's that person. Sorry, earlier on you were asking me about this person, weren't you? What was the name you were saying? Shifting Gears, was it something? Shifting Gears.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that person is a 100% troll. I've invited him on for a debate, but I've said that you could come on, and then they wanted a phone call. It was kind of weird, but yeah, their comments were really bad. But after reading over the comments again, it's just like they were just saying stuff like all vegans are morons and just loads of nasty shit. So I'm not sure how useful that would be to speak with them, to be honest. But who knows?
Yeah,
maybe
there's,
in the future.
there's always a dilemma with giving certain people platforms and stuff. If they're mean well or not.
Yeah, man. How are you doing? You fading?
Yeah, no, I need to eat some food. I haven't eaten in like 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, man.
6 hours.
It's been challenging. Hey, we've got a few. Hey guys, we've had a few, revelations today, haven't we? We've had, people who want to genocide 100 million humans. We've had. What else did we get to bite the bullet on? Oh, the killing infants. That was another one.
Killing infants, and also you intentionally left the call because you were so stumped by his insane appeal to lion behavior argument.
Yeah.
Showing how unreasonable it is for you to oppose animal abuse.
My internet cut out. Yeah, sure. I was just terrified. I was literally shaking with
I know
fear.
you were breaking down, tearing up, grabbing the tissues, and then you finally mustered up the strength to come back.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Well, Danny, thank you for being here, man. It's been
totally.
It's been an emotional roller coaster. Everybody go. Oh, I didn't even. Yeah, I've tagged you. Yeah, go to the description. If you don't know who Danny is, go to the description of the video. It's right there. Lifting Vegan Logic. Go and subscribe to him and like all of his videos because he needs it. He's got a fragile ego like me. We both need your likes, comments.
I said this in the chat, but I'll say it here. If you don't subscribe, you'll be humanely slaughtered for the environment. So
yeah.
We need. So I need you to subscribe, please.
Oh my god, that's so funny. You'll be humanely slaughtered for the environment. That's the new thing, isn't it? Humane slaughter for the planet, guys. But one more point about that as well. I didn't say this, but why would we want to save a world that is, if it's off the back of being so brutal and violent? Like, why would you want to save that brutally violent world? Would you not rather would you not rather save it in a good way as opposed to survive in it, but have it be horrific and violent? Do you know what I mean? Like, and it's not even like those are the only two options.
There's a line that has to be drawn at some point where like we are valuing environmentalism, but also just being ethical. So like,
yeah, exactly.
We know that the most environmental thing is unethical.
Exactly.
So we have to find some sort of middle ground where like we are sustaining the planet in a way that where it can exist for, not as long as possible, because I think we've already established that doing that would involve genocide and using up your resources. But a way that maximizes well-being while also maximizing the health of the planet. And obviously, for the same reason we wouldn't want to have human farms that help the planet, we wouldn't want to have animal farms that help the planet.
Exactly.
It's not like if we have a vegan world, the earth is going to be light on fire, a million years before it would have been a vegan world. But
just be a flaming ball of death instantly. No, but dude, really appreciate it, man. I will shut the. Okay, let's stop the stream first. So yeah, thank you so much again, dude. Everybody, as I said, go and follow Danny. Go and subscribe. Give him all that good love. He needs it, as I said. We both do. Please give us attention, please. Love and likes and comments and all that good stuff. And
please,
if you're not subscribed to me, subscribe to me. If you're not already in the Patreon team, thank you to all my patrons. You guys are amazing. You make this all possible. I'm doing Patreon content on a weekly basis right now, which means it's completely exclusive. It will never be posted anywhere else. It's like Q&As with me, posting some stuff like what we're up to, personal life, nudes, all that good stuff. So if that's what you're into, then get over to Patreon and you can access it all. And it's only like $1 a month. If that's all you can afford, then you can get in for $1 a month. Then, I've kept that tier so that more people can come. But yeah, if you want, it might not be a lot to you, but that's a lot to me when it adds up, or if you want to join for more, you can join for more, which is cool. I really appreciate it.
If you want to get off of David's Patreon and join my Patreon, you can also do that.
All right, we're going to end it there. Yeah, sorry, nothing happened. Danny, you didn't hear anything. All right, cool. See you all later. Thank you so much, everybody. Bye-bye. We're offline, man. We're offline. And we're